Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the BirdsNestSports.com broadcast network. Mike Ritchie, Scott Sutton, Toby Murray here at Great Crossing High School for the first annual Warhawk Baseball Classic. Should be a good one right here as the Williamstown Demons make the short trip down the highway. They come in with a record of 8-7, their head coach Bobby Young. For Great Crossing, they come with a record of 12-4 after defeating Greene County last night by a score of 5-4. Great ball game in that one. We'll do this. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back and we'll go over some of the stats for both teams. You're watching high school baseball on BirdsNestSports.com.
For oral surgery, you need a surgeon you can trust and feel at home with. Consider Dr. Robert Henderson at Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery. Specializing in wisdom teeth extraction, surgery to prepare for dentures, biopsies, corrective jaw surgery, TMJ disorders, and dental implants. All outpatient procedures are performed right here in our office. We participate with most insurance, we offer care credit, and take care of all the paperwork. Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery will give you a lot to smile about.
Scott County Physical Therapy is a privately owned physical therapy practice specializing in outpatient orthopedics, sports and industrial rehab, neurological rehabilitation, low back pain, neck pain, and arthritic conditions. Our mission is to provide the highest quality physical therapy to assist each individual and the community at large. Scott County Physical Therapy, a journey to wellness. To contact the physical therapist and Scott County Physical Therapy, please dial 502-863-4242. Scott County Physical Therapy is the title sponsor for Scott County Athletics.
Scott County Schools and Bird's Nest Athletics would like to take this opportunity to thank our corporate sponsors: Bluegrass Orthopedics, Georgetown News Graphic, Denise M. Keene, Certified Public Accountant, Brickhouse Properties Real Estate, Chick-fil-A, Toyota Motor Manufacturing of Kentucky, Clark's Pump and Shop, Georgetown Community Hospital, West Banco, Green's Toyota of Lexington, Ozer Paint and Flooring, Scott County Veterinary Clinic, People's Bank, Time to Shine Car Wash, Steve Skierman, Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, Domino's Pizza, Burger King, Galvin's on Main. This broadcast has been made possible by these corporate sponsors and viewers like you.
At Bluegrass Orthopedics, we are constantly striving to be on the cutting edge of practice and technology. This is why we're the first in the area to acquire the Stryker Mako robot to assist our physicians in knee surgeries. The Stryker Mako robot is the pioneer of robotics in orthopedic surgery and has the industry-leading experience in orthopedic robotics. This allows our doctors to be more precise and allows you to recover faster and with less pain. Bluegrass Orthopedics and Bluegrass Specialty Surgical Center, serving athletes of all ages.
And the pitcher, number 34, Logan.
Welcome back to the BirdsNestSports.com broadcast network. Mike Ritchie and Scott Sutton, Toby Murray.
Tyler Williams, Brian Connor.
We're at Great Crossing High School Warhawk Baseball Classic. The Demons of Williamstown getting set to take on the home team.
We ask that you please stand and remove your hats as we play our next.
The Warhawks of Great Crossing. We'll take another timeout. We'll come back to start the ball game right after this.
Oral surgery, you need a surgeon you can trust and feel at home with. Consider Dr. Robert Henderson at Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery. Specializing in wisdom teeth extraction, surgery to prepare for dentures, biopsies, corrective jaw surgery, TMJ disorders, and dental implants. All outpatient procedures are performed right here in our office. We participate with most insurance, we offer care credit, and take care of all the paperwork. Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery will give you a lot to smile about.
Scott County Physical Therapy is a privately owned physical therapy practice specializing in outpatient orthopedics, sports and industrial rehab, neurological rehabilitation, low back pain, neck pain, and arthritic conditions. Our mission is to provide the highest quality physical therapy to assist each individual and the community at large. Scott County Physical Therapy, a journey to wellness. To contact the physical therapist and Scott County Physical Therapy, please dial 502-863-4242. Scott County Physical Therapy is the title sponsor for Scott County Athletics.
Scott County Schools and Bird's Nest Athletics would like to take this opportunity to thank our corporate sponsors: Bluegrass Orthopedics, Georgetown News Graphic, Denise M. Keene, Certified Public Accountant, Brickhouse Properties Real Estate, Chick-fil-A, Toyota Motor Manufacturing of Kentucky, Clark's Pump and Shop, Georgetown Community Hospital, West Banco, Green's Toyota of Lexington, Ozer Paint and Flooring, Scott County Veterinary Clinic, People's Bank, Time to Shine Car Wash, Steve Skierman, Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, Domino's Pizza, Burger King, Galvin's on Main. This broadcast has been made possible by these corporate sponsors and viewers like you.
At Bluegrass Orthopedics, we are constantly striving to be on the cutting edge of practice and technology. This is why we're the first in the area to acquire the Stryker Mako robot to assist our physicians in knee surgeries. The Stryker Mako robot is the pioneer of robotics in orthopedic surgery and has the industry-leading experience in orthopedic robotics. This allows our doctors to be more precise and allows you to recover faster and with less pain. Bluegrass Orthopedics and Bluegrass Specialty Surgical Center, serving athletes of all ages.
Welcome back to birdsnestsports.com. Mike Ritchie along with Scott Sutton, Toby Murray. And Coach, before we get started, let's look at some of the stats that jump out at you for both teams.
Birdsnestsports.com. Let your family and friends know they can watch the game live. You can also check it out anytime, as it will be archived.
On the Williamstown side, we led the 8th grader, Alex Mattingly, hitting .438. He's second in the state with 6 triples, also has 4 doubles. Also want to point out their pitcher, Cole Keitlinger. He's got a 3.0 ERA, and he's 2-2, but his walks to strikeout ratio, 42 strikeouts with 4 base on balls. We talked about that yesterday. We had 2 pitchers that were just outstanding, and throughout the game we had to combine 1 walk. So I think we're going to see a lot of strikes from him as well tonight. On the Great Crossing side, you got to talk about Seth Benner going into the weekend, hitting .556 with 6 home runs. Absolutely powdered one last night to left center field to put his team ahead. And then I want to point out Grant Stewart. He was our player of the game last night. Played a terrific shortstop, 2 for 3. So it should be a good ball game. Great Crossings with a nice win last night over Greene County. We'll see if they can continue that tonight.
All righty, thank you there, Coach Sutton. Again, getting ready to get started here. Looking at the starting pitcher for Great Crossing, the junior Logan Adams, 5'7". He's pitched in 3 games, started in 2 of those, pitched a total of 11 innings, 3 hits, 5 runs, 1 of those earned, 14 walks, 9 strikeouts with a record of 2-0, and an ERA of .064, and we're ready for some baseball.
As you mentioned, Mike, not a lot of innings posted by Atkins, but we talked about just letting your defense play. He's got a good offense behind him, a good defense. And I think today all Coach Stratton wants to see is, hey, throw strikes, and we'll do enough with our offense to win this game.
Here's the 1-1 pitch to the leadoff hitter and pitcher for the Demons. Cole Keitlinger, batting .207 on the season, is the senior, and finds himself ahead in the count. 2-1 here early in the ball game. Glad you could join us. Perfect day for baseball, especially when you're inside the press box. It's 48 and sunny. 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2. Swing and a miss. Catcher has to make the throw down to Turley and put a strikeout in the books. 1 up, 1 out. That'll bring up Tanner Gray, the sophomore center fielder, batting .235 for the Demons.
The center fielder, number 7.
I'm sure Coach Young not pleased with that last at bat. Swung on a couple balls outside of the zone, up 2-1 in the count. Like I said, leadoff guy, be a little bit more patient.
All righty, 1 out in the books here. First pitch from Atkins, strike 1. The one thing that jumps out at you when you look, we talked about it last night, the walk-strike ratio. His is not very good. Ball gets past the pitcher. Benner has no play, so an infield single off the bat of Tanner Gray.
Now batting the shortstop, number 24.
There's nothing you can do about that as an infielder. Really, it's just like a bunt. Just a slow roller to third, and Benner had no play.
Yeah, once it got past Atkins, pretty much that was the only play that Great Crossing had. So they'll bring up the shortstop, the older brother of Tanner. That would be Tucker Gray. He's batting .380. First pitch off speed. Good job behind the plate by Peyton Harris. Zach Lyons DHing tonight. He caught last night for Great Crossing.
I'm sure yellow would be red.
Foul ball, fly ball out to right field. Underneath of it is Drake Bird. Pretty much that ball carried quite a bit out there, didn't it?
It did, yeah. Last night we were talking about that wind was wrecking havoc with the outfielders, and that one floated out there a little bit longer, but did a nice job opening up the hips. Made a nice catch about 10 feet from the fence.
Held on deck, Mattingly.
So now batting is Kyron Held, the catcher, batting .242 on the season.
You know what jumps out at me with Kyron, Mike, is usually your four-hitter's a guy that's going to go up there and be swinging for the fences, but he's got 18 walks on the year. And maybe some of those are intentional, I don't know, but that's an outstanding job for a four-hitter to be as patient as what he's shown all year.
Yeah, great job right there. Kind of fouled that one off the front foot.
You can tell he's got some pop, a big body kid.
You don't know what the word shape means.
Atkins getting ready to set and fire the 0-1 pitch. Outside ball one. So 1-1 the count here. 2 outs, top of the first inning. Williamstown taking on Great Crossing. Outfield straight up. Fouled back. Count goes to 1-2.
Logan's getting the first one. I'm not getting any of them.
Be interesting to see if Coach Young steals him right here, try to get him in scoring position with 2 outs. A lot of times with a 2-strike count, you'll do that expecting an off-speed pitch.
There's a shot, one hopper to Bond. Bond smooth over to Turtolita. And we're out of the inning. So an easy inning there for Great Crossing and their junior pitcher Logan Atkins. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back for the bottom of the first. You're watching BirdsNestSport.com. High school baseball. Back at
Orthopedics, we are constantly striving to be on the cutting edge of practice and technology. This is why we're the first in the area to acquire the Stryker Mako robot to assist our physicians in knee surgeries. The Stryker Mako robot is the pioneer of robotics in orthopedic surgery and has the industry-leading experience in orthopedic robotics. This allows our doctors to be more precise and allows you to recover faster and with less pain. Bluegrass Orthopedics and Bluegrass Specialty Surgical Center, serving athletes of all ages.
Welcome back to BirdsNestSports.com. Mike Ritchie along with the coach Scotty Sutton, Toby Murray, cameraman extraordinaire. Great Crossing High School Warhawk Baseball Classic. Good first inning for Scott County. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, leaving 1 runner on base. And now it's the Great Crossing's turn. But on the bump for Williamstown is the senior Cole Keitlinger. The 6'3" senior has pitched in 7 games, started 6 of those, 35 total innings, 40 hits, 30 runs, only 15 of those earned, only 4 walks, and 42 strikeouts with a 2-2 record and an ERA of 3.00. And Coach, last night we talked about that walk-strikeout ratio. This is pretty sweet.
Anytime you can come in with 42 strikeouts to only 4 walks, then you're doing your job. And you had mentioned it about only 15 earned runs. That has to be frustrating when you're doing your job and then, maybe the defense behind you is not getting it done. But it's pretty obvious that he's got a strong arm. With 42 strikeouts, you must have good stuff. I'm anxious to watch him.
All righty, the defensive lineup for the Demons from Williamstown. Out in left field is Alex Mattingly. Tanner Gray is in center. Jalen Dixon over in right field. Around the infield, you got Jonathan Peer at third base, Tucker Gray at shortstop, Spencer Tennyson over at second, Cameron Lawson playing first base today. Behind the plate is Kyron Hill, and on the bump is Cole Keitlinger.
Zach Lyons on deck. Bond.
So leading off for Great Crossing is the senior designated hitter today, batting .392, Zach Lyons, left-handed. First pitch swinging, hard shot to the shortstop. Tucker Gray bobbles it a little bit, comes up, makes the throw. So 1 pitch, 1 out.
Nice backhand stab right there.
Yep.
And a good throw. I mean, sometimes you'll make that play, come up, maybe throw high, but a bullet right to the first baseman's chest. That was an excellent play by Tucker Gray.
Yep. Gray with the play. Cameron Lawson with the assist. First pitch, 2. Great crossing, second baseman, Benny and Bond. Strike call. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Off speed, outside. Ball 1, excuse me. Bond got the bat on that breaking pitch, fouls it off. Count goes to 1-2. 1-2 here to the number 2 hitter for Great Crossing, Benny and Bond, batting .341. He pretty much waited on that curveball, slaps it in the 6 hole, and the first hit of the ball game for Great Crossing.
And I was just going to say that, Mike. I think he went to the well one too many times there. Had him set up beautifully with a couple of curveballs. I thought he would have come, hard on the inside part of the plate, but threw another breaker. And to Bond's credit, he said, "You're not going to fool me this time," and hit it in the 6 hole. Nice job by Benningham.
So that'll drop it back to Seth Benner. Seth hitting .556 on the season. Top 10 batting average, leader in the state. And just like that, Benny and Bond, stolen base.
That was a great delayed steal right there by Benningham.
So first pitch was a ball. So the count in favor of the number 3 hitter for the Warhawks, Seth Benner. And now he has Benny and Bond out at second base in scoring position. Keitlinger looks back, lets it go. Off-speed pitch. Foul. Good play by Coach Stratton. He practiced what he preaches. 2 hands. Good form over at the third base box. And the nice thing about that, by him catching it, I could tell it wasn't hit very solid. You as an old third base coach, if it's hit solid when you get to this age, you just let it go, right?
Yeah, about the first 10 years, I caught just about everything down there, and then the last 10 years, I just let it go by me.
Yeah,
especially somebody on it down the left field line.
Yeah, especially in today's world, because you're a phone away from being a Facebook post.
Oh man.
So 1-2 the count here, 1 out. Benny and Bond down at second base for the Warhawks. 1-2 pitch. Foul tipped into the mitt. So strikeout in the books for Mr. Keitlinger. Second out of the inning for Great Crossing.
The first baseman, number 17, Jacob Turlia. On deck, Harris.
So with Benny and Bond out at second base, Jacob Turlia, the first baseman, batting .370 on the season. Off speed, strike 1. He's not afraid to throw that off-speed pitch, is he?
He's not. But we talked about that last night. I think Great Crossings will make the adjustment at some point and say, okay, if you're going to throw it this many times.
So stolen base by Bond as he walks over to third base easily.
Even in the last at-bat, you could tell how frustrated Seth was because he didn't let the ball travel. And last night he did that same thing and then came back, relaxed, and hit that home run. I think a lot of the Great Crossings players will start doing that.
Fly ball out to center field. Tanner Gray underneath of it, 2 hands. So the Demons get out of the inning as Great Crossing strands Benny and Bond down at third base. So in the inning, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left on base. So 3-1 complete. We're at 0 for both teams. We'll be back on the BirdsNestSports.com broadcast network right after this.
And Bird's Nest Athletics would like to take this opportunity to thank our corporate sponsors: Bluegrass Orthopedics, Georgetown News Graphic, Denise M. Keene, Certified Public Accountant, Brickhouse Properties Real Estate, Chick-fil-A, Toyota Motor Manufacturing of Kentucky, Clark's Pump and Shop, Georgetown Community Hospital, West Banco, Greens Toyota of Lexington, Ozer Paint and Flooring, Scott County Veterinary Clinic, People's Bank, Time to Shine Car Wash, Steve Skierman, Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, Domino's Pizza, Burger King, Galvin's on Main. This broadcast has been made possible by these corporate sponsors and viewers like you.
Welcome back to the BirdsNestSports.com broadcast network. Mike Ritchie along with the coach Scott Sutton, Toby Murray here with us as well. Unable to score, so you look at your stat line through the first inning. Both teams have one hit, no error on either side, and no runs have scored yet, so we're knotted at 0 after one complete, going to the top of the second inning. Will be the Demons of Williamstown. They'll start off with the 8th grader, Alex Mattingly, batting .438 on the season, number 2 in the state in triples with 6 already.
Yeah, I'm anxious to watch this young kid. As you said, only an 8th grader, got 4 doubles, 6 triples, hitting .438.
For Williamstown, the left fielder, number 14.
Coach Young really has to be excited about him. He could be a cornerstone of the offense in the next 4 years.
So he'll lead off the inning for the Demons. Here's the first pitch from Atkins, off speed, swing and a miss. Strike one.
The first thing I noticed about Mattingly is how he is just smothering that home plate. Really like to crowd it. And you don't see that a lot of times out of a young player. Normally might be a little bit afraid. I don't want to use the word afraid, but you know what I'm saying. They're facing high school.
He's scared.
Yeah, high school pitching, but he is crowding that plate and he's ready to hit.
0-2 fastball in the dirt. Ball one.
Gotta like the competitiveness out of a youngster.
Yes, they eat them in the...
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fouls it up. Turlia on the run, trying to get to the edge of the dugout. Makes a dive for it. And unable to make the play. Good effort out there by Jacob Turlia. Just ran out of room. We didn't get a chance to get the names of the umpires today, but it looks like Terry Coldarn behind the plate. He's been around a long time, one of the good ones. Staying alive is Mattingly.
You can tell this kid loves to play the game. I mean, he's just stepping in that box, gripping the bat tight. Bring that next pitch in here. I'm ready.
So the count's 1-2 here, top of the second inning. The 8th grader, Alex Mattingly, waiting the pitch. Outside, ball 2.
That's a good pitch right there. Catcher located outside. He hit him perfect. Going to make him hit your pitch on that 1-2 count.
Here's the 2-2 pitch, off speed, fouled straight back into the net, and the count remains 2-2. Good bat right here for the 8th grader.
It is. Held off there, outstanding job. And you know, Mike, when you get to this point in the season, you know, numbers are what they are. You might be able to bloop some in early in the year and have a good average, but you're hitting .438 the second week of May, then you're a good player.
So the 3-2 pitch is high, and a runner at first base.
That was just a great at-bat.
So a free pass for
The first baseman, number 35, Cameron Lawson.
Alex Mattingly. Now we're down to the first baseman, Cameron Lawson, batting .279, the senior.
And you know, with 10 extra base hits, I wouldn't be surprised at all to see Mattingly stealing here.
First pitch, outside corner, strike one.
Did you get a donut? You look sad.
Fly ball over Benny and Bond's head, just out the reach. Mattingly able to get down to second base, so a bloop single. Off the bat of Cameron Lawson, but it looks like a line drive in the books, and that'll bring up the right fielder, Jalen Dixon, batting .303 on the season. The senior hits from the left-hand side. 2 runners on.
Almost have to expect to see a bunt right here. Get these runners in scoring position early in the game.
Corners in. Squares around, pulls it back, ball 1. So Benner at third base playing even with the bag. Turlia playing about 2 or 3 steps in front of the bag on first base. Stewart holding on. Mattingly out of the second base.
You almost got that bat back. I'm surprised that Gray Crossings is not checking that with the base umpire, because I'm not sure he pulled that bat.
No, I think he was more worried about getting out of the way.
He was.
So the count's 2-0. Pickoff move to Stewart. That's second. Mattingly in safely.
That's another play where we talked about that last night. You don't have to throw that ball to second base, but they just continue to do that.
Here's the 2-0 pitch. Squaring around the bunt is Dixon. And I don't know if Mr. Dixon really wants to bunt.
Yeah, you'll see that a lot of times with high school kids. They get that bunt signal. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah. And I think that second pitch from Atkins that was a little bit inside might have something to do with it.
Yeah.
2-1 pitch. In the dirt, and the count goes 3-1. And here's, as a coach, you have to be upset here. The guy's wanting to bunt.
Exactly.
And now you're throwing 3 balls.
Yeah, you always, this early in the game, you want to take that out, throw him a high strike.
3-1 pitch. Inside, away from the catcher, Harris. But 2 walks in the inning.
And just like you said, now instead of having an out with second and third, now it's bases juiced with nobody out.
Number 31.
So I'm sure Coach Stratton's pretty frustrated with that. But that's, you know, that's in Atkins, you're talking about a pitcher who doesn't have a lot of innings.
So Jonathan Peer, the freshman, batting 143, playing third base today, up with the bases full of Demons. Infield playing in. Going to try to cut off the run at the plate. First pitch, strike.
I still understand.
0-1 pitch, off speed, foul straight back. And Atkins rebounds quickly. He sees ahead in the count. 0-2 to the freshman third baseman, Jonathan Peer.
He's got his concentration back. He needs to make a good pitch here. If you can get Peer out with a strikeout, which is just what he did, it's a beautiful curveball right there. Now your defense can play back and play for the double play and try to get out of the inning. Worst case scenario, you get an out on a ground ball and you only give up 1 run. But we'll see how Coach Stratton plays. It looks like he's going to have his corners in. They'll play at the plate. The middle infield will try to turn 2.
First pitch swinging. Bond able to get underneath of it. The runner at third unable to score, so first pitch swinging. Fly ball to the second baseman for the second out of the inning. Mattingly over at third. No way he could advance on that pop-up caught by Great Crossings, Benny and Bond. Now we're back to the lineup. And Cole Keitlinger, an opportunity to help himself out right here.
And Mike, you know, that's what that strikeout did for you, because it allowed the middle infield to play back, and then Benniam was able to track down that flare. If they're playing in right there, that ball falls in.
Off-speed pitch to Keitlinger outside, ball 1.
Yeah, he didn't like that. I thought that was a good pitch. You could see the frustration in Atkins' face there.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. In the dirt, 2-0.
One thing you don't want to do, though, you can be frustrated, but you don't want to show that umpire up by your body language. And he snapped that glove. You know, an umpire, they don't like to see.
2-0 pitch, outside corner, strike 1.
He's gonna go get me one. He said he's going to get pants. No, honestly, no.
Foul ball. And there's the Scotty Sutton method at third base. Bobby Young takes 2 steps forward and lets the ball go behind him.
Absolutely.
So the scoreboard, full deuces, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the second inning. The leadoff hitter, Keitlinger, waits for the 2-2 curveball. Low one outside. And if the home plate umpire needs any help, it sounds like we have a lot of fans in the stands willing to offer some free assistance.
Yep.
If he wants to run a survey or a poll.
Runners will be going here, Mike.
Here's the 3-2 pitch. And it's low. Free pass. And you talked about showing your emotions. Atkins right there.
This will be a good time, too, for Coach Stratton. Send out his pitching coach. Settle your pitcher down. Hey, let's relax. Let's get this guy right here. You don't want to turn 1 run into 6 because you're frustrated. And you can see it right there. That was probably the worst pitch he's thrown in the game.
Yep. So the first pitch to the sophomore center fielder, Tanner Gray, is just outside. So Atkins still with the bases juice. Has to make a good pitch right here.
Logan, you got it. Logan, you got it. You lost.
Tanner Gray is able to foul it back, and the count evens up 1-1. 2 outs here. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Outside. So Williamstown with 1 run in. Alex Mattingly scored, leading off the inning with a walk. You have Lawson at third, Dixon down at second, and Cole Keitlinger over at first base. That pitch called strike. The count evens up at 2-2. So Deuces on the scoreboard again. 2 balls, 2 strikes here, 2 outs, top of the second inning. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Fouled over into the softball field. Both Great Crossing and Scott County from the softball side are down in Henderson County, I think, this weekend. Off-speed pitch, swing and a miss. Good pitch right there. Sure get out of the inning. Third strikeout of the ball game for Logan Atkins, but Williamstown sends 8 batters to the plate, scoring 1 run. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back for the bottom of the second inning here on the BirdsNestSports.com broadcast network. Back right after this.
Town means great cars, great local sports, great people, and Galvin's, a great place where friends meet for great Galvin's food. Galvin's voted the best local restaurant in Georgetown. Enjoy a great specialty sandwich from Philly cheesesteaks to Strombolis. Bring the whole family. Watch the big games on the big screens. You'll watch the game. We'll make the munchies like our signature pizzas and home-cut potato chips. Galvin's on Main Street next to the courthouse. Join us on Facebook for all the latest Galvin's action.
I'd like to remind you again that today's game is...
Welcome back to BirdsNestSports.com. Mike Ritchie along with the coach, Scott Sutton. Toby Murray running the camera.
Let your family and friends know they can watch the game.
Chris Hanneback with the assistance on anything that we need. Glad you could join us here. We go into the bottom of the second inning. Cole Keitlinger got the RBI on the walk to put Williamstown on the board as they take the early lead. And Coach, got to be happy for Logan Atkins to get out of that inning.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that could have turned into a disaster. But he did finally settle down, control his emotions, and I'm sure that Jarvis is talking to him about, hey, you can't let a bad call here or there affect you on the mound. Don't turn in 1 pitch into the next 3. And we see that out of young players a lot. You just got to get that ball back. You can talk to yourself, but don't show your body language. Yeah. Gather yourself, come back, see what the next pitch is called, and execute it.
Especially after the walk to Keitlinger, he took the hat off and
leading off the bottom half of the second inning for the Warhawk.
Wearing his emotions on the sleeves. Right, Logan Atkins got out of it as he gets the strikeout. His third of the ball game. And now it's Great Crossing's turn. Leading off is the catcher, the junior, batting .519 is Peyton Harris. First pitch, high and inside, ball 1.
Peyton hitting .519 coming into the weekend. Excellent.
Ball 2. That pitch was low. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Just inside, and I don't think he would have minded getting hit on that one. He didn't get out of the way at all.
No, he didn't.
Me, I'd be on my back just trying to get out of the way. What about you? 3-0 pitch, off speed, strike one.
Well, that's an example right there of an experienced pitcher. He didn't get the pitch that he wanted, and then he comes right back with a strike.
3-1, lined foul down the third base line.
Now you've worked your way back on 3-2. See what he comes with here. I'll be interested because he was all over that fastball. We'll see if he comes back with a 3-2 curve.
3-2 curveball is high.
Yep.
So a free pass for Peyton Harris.
Now batting.
First walk of the ball game for
15, Drake Bird.
Kite Linger, and that'll bring up Drake Bird, the right fielder.
And you can see Cole talking to his catcher right there, slapped himself in the chest and said, hey, my bad on that 3-2. I'm sure that was the pitch that he wanted to go to, but he might be thinking now I should have just came right back with a hard fastball and let my defense play.
Mason Wiley, courtesy running out there for the catcher Peyton Harris, wearing number 33. First pitch just a little bit early is Drake Bird, the sophomore right fielder. And the count goes to 0-1. First walk of the ball game for Kite Linger. As Mason Wiley is down at first base. Pickoff attempt. Just to let him know he's there, Cameron Lawson with the extended holding of the tag over at first base. We'll be back tonight at 6:30 for the Bardstown Great Crossing game. Off on the pitch is Wiley. Here's the throw. Not in time from Hale. Tucker Gray covering, so stolen base in the books.
Pretty good throw there by Hale from his knees, but he got a good jump.
Yep. That pitch, that stolen base right there was on the pitcher. He had an awesome jump. First baseman playing in, maybe expecting the bunt. Off-speed pitch in the dirt. Gets away from the catcher.
Good aggressive base running right there. It's a ball in the dirt that the catcher blocks up. A lot of times when they see a ball blocked up, they'll stay, where they're at. But it's so hard for a catcher to go get the baseball, then make an accurate throw, and get a guy out. So that was an outstanding read.
So here's the 1-2 pitch.
There you go.
Hit out to center field. Or right center field. Going for it is the second baseman. A great catch out there by Spillman Tennyson, but momentum going away from home plate. And like that, Peyton Harris is able to score easily. So a sac fly to the second baseman for Drake Bird. First out of the ball game. Give him an RBI. Good job right there to get the run in. And now Grant Stewart, our player of the game, sponsored by Galvin's last night. The shortstop had a pretty good ball game defensively. Couple of RBIs, 2 hits.
I tell you, Mike, that play by Spillman, that's a lot tougher than it looks. That flare over your head going out into right center.
First pitch outside. Ball 1. Off-speed pitch. Outside. You see a lot of high school umpires really extend that outside part of the plate, but
yeah,
umpire today isn't giving that pitch.
No, he's not. Because I think that curveball is going across the plate. That was another example of it right there.
So the count's 2-1 here. 1 out in the bottom of the second inning. Great Crossing already with 1 run in to tie up the ball game. And the count in the favor of Grant Stewart. 3-1. Three-one pitch, swing and a miss. I don't think Grant Stewart was trying to tap that one over to right field with that swing.
No, he wasn't. 3-1 count. He's thinking about one pitch that I can drive into the gap, and felt like he got that pitch, and just got to give Keitlinger credit.
3-2 pitch. Fly ball out into center field. Underneath of it, 2 hands is Tanner Gray for the second out of the inning. And that'll bring up Aiden Foster, the center fielder. I think Grant Stewart was trying to get the player of the game trophy back-to-back. The player of the game today for this game is sponsored by Bluegrass Orthopedics.
On deck, line.
Mike, that's a couple times now that Keitlinger got down 3-1 and came back. There's a reason why he's only walked 4 or 5 guys all year long. It's because he's a competitor and he can throw strikes.
First pitch, pop up. Coming in to catch it is Spencer Tennyson. So after the leadoff walk, and they always say walks in high school baseball typically score, and it's done it here both times as Alex Mattingly walked the leadoff inning for Williamstown and scored, and Peyton Harris returned to favor for Greg Crossing as he walked the lead off the second inning and scored as well. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. You're watching high school baseball. BirdsNestSports.com. Back in a minute.
Oral surgery, you need a surgeon you can trust and feel at home with. Consider Dr. Robert Henderson at Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery. Specializing in wisdom teeth extraction, surgery to prepare for dentures, biopsies, corrective jaw surgery, TMJ disorders, and dental implants. All outpatient procedures are performed right here in our office. We participate with most insurance, we offer care credit, and take care of all the paperwork. Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery will give you a lot to smile about.
Welcome back to BirdsNestSports.com. As you can see the stats, the scoreboard after 2 complete. Williamstown 1 run, 2 hits, no errors. Great Crossing. Also 1 run, only 1 hit, and no errors. Both runs have been initiated with leadoff walks by both pitchers. And we're going to the top of 3rd inning. And Coach, what's your impression of the ball game up to this point?
Well, last inning, Williamstown had a great chance to get a lot of runs in, but fortunately for Great Crossings, Atkins calmed down, was able to get out of it. And I think on the other end, Great Crossings they're going to have to start being a little bit more patient. And by patient, I don't mean that they're swinging at bad pitches. I just mean they got to let that ball travel. They're way out in front of most of them, getting out on that front foot. And when you do, you're popping the ball up, and we've seen quite a bit of that today.
First pitch to Tucker Gray, the shortstop. Swing and a miss. Tucker flew out to the right fielder in his first at bat, and the count evens up at 1-1. Logan Atkins did a good job. Last inning started off with the bases juiced. He got a big strikeout from Jonathan Peer. Pop up straight up. Talia running in hard to make the play. I don't know if Logan Atkins didn't see that or not, but he was waiting for somebody to come in and make the play, and there was Jacob Turlia for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, it was a good play right there. Coach, it may sound silly, but my old coach used to say, you get the first batter out of the inning, you're halfway there.
There you go. I didn't know you played for Yogi Berra. So Kyron Hild batting for the Demons. Ground ball to Benny and Bond for the 3rd out of the 1st inning.
It was a long time ago.
Outside pitch fouled off over the first base dugout. And Logan Atkins, with 1 out here in the inning, finds himself way ahead in the count to the senior catcher for Williamstown. O2 pitch is high, taken for ball 1. I don't know if that was a little bit too big of a pitch to.
Yeah, it was. I'm very surprised he didn't hack at that.
1-2 off-speed pitch. Logan Atkins just out of his reach. Here comes Grant Stewart. 6-3. We called that a lot last night. And there's the first one today for the 2nd out of the inning. Now we'll drop it back to the 8th grader, Alex Mattingly. Walked in the 2nd and scored the only run for Williamstown.
The left fielder.
We talked about that last night, but the thing that I love about Stewart is he never lets the ball play him. He's always attacking the baseball, slow rollers coming in, regardless of the play, and you're going to make a lot of outs if you can do that.
First pitch swinging. Grant Stewart says, Mr. Benner, you worry about hitting, I got this one. So pop out to the shortstop. Grant Stewart, 3 up, 3 down for the Demons. Pretty good inning there from Mr. Atkins. We'll do this. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. You're watching high school baseball. BirdsNestSports.com. Back after this.
Hi, Dick Stockton here. I've been announcing sports for over 40 years, and I know a winning team when I see one. Green's Toyota of Lexington has what it takes to win, which is why Green's is Kentucky's #1 Toyota dealer 2 years running. Family owned for over 40 years, Green strives to give excellent customer service and best value for the dollar. No matter what department, parts, service, or sales, Green's continues to move forward doing business the right way every day. Be a part of Green's winning team. Green's Toyota. Great people, great cars. Think Green.
Welcome back to the BirdsNestSports.com broadcast network. Mike Ritchie, along with the coach Scott Sutton, Toby Murray running the camera. We're tied at 1 apiece here as we go into the bottom of the third inning. Scott County sending to the plate the number 9 hitter. Correction, great crossing. I've done it once. I'm keeping count. It costs me $1 in the jar every time I do that, so right now the jar's getting full, so I apologize. For great crossing, Colin Nicholson, the senior left fielder, batting .395, getting set to make his first plate appearance.
You've done it for so many years, Mike. It's just
hard
to break that habit.
I'm going to blame on you. You need to change your name when we're doing great crossing games. You need to be Tommy or somebody, but when I have to say Scott Sutton, the memory banks just kick in. As Nicholson stops quickly to talk to head coach Greg Stratton over at third base.
And Mike, I would expect after Nicholson bats here, then you're talking about the second time around for the great crossing lineup, and I think they are going to be much more patient. Let's let the ball travel. Let's start trying to drive the ball up the middle, and when you do that against an off-speed pitcher, then you're going to start hitting gap to gap.
First pitch, foul tip into the mid, strike one. Oh, one curveball, strike two.
That ball was filthy.
0-2 pitch, ground ball to Tucker Gray. Gray up with it quickly.
Outstanding.
Over to Lawson. Making the play.
And we just talked about Stewart on the other end. That was a great play by Tucker Gray right there to come in on the ball, throw it on the run. Strong arm.
On deck, Bond.
So one out here in the bottom of the third. Back to the top of the lineup, the designated hitter, Zach Lyons. Ground out to the aforementioned Tucker Gray in the first inning. Off-speed pitch. Inside.
And Zach never budged on that. He was going to let that ball hit him in the elbow if it needed to.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. Inside again. 2 balls. No strikes.
Love a leadoff hitter that'll do anything it takes to get on the base.
Now it goes to 3 balls. No strikes. Leadoff hitter right here probably pretty much taking. I would guess wind blowing out to right field.
I would think so. Let's get a base runner on, but we've talked about, we've said it over and over. Keitlinger only has 5 walks on the year. He's not going to give it to you easy.
Here's the 3-1 pitch, and just like that, walks the runner, or walks the batter, turns him into a runner. Zach Lyons with the free pass. That's the second walk of the ball game.
Number 2.
And that'll bring up Benny and Bond, second baseman. Single in the first, 2 stolen bases, stranded at third was Mr. Bond.
And we just talked about it, second time around, they're going to be much more patient, and Zach just did a terrific job right there of working the count. Even when it was 3-1, some people will say, okay, I'm coming out of my shoes, but he didn't. Stayed patient. Now he's on first base, and the Warhawks have something to go with.
Off and running his lines. Held from the knees again, and under the tag is Zach Lyons with the stolen base. So it looks like Great Crossing might have found something here with Cole Keitlinger from the stretch. That's 2 stolen bases off of him from first. There's a ball out past the shortstop. Zach Lyons getting the wave around and held with a great throw out at the plate on an awesome throw from the right field or the left fielder, the 8th grader Alex Mattingly, as he throws out Zach Lyons at the plate. So that'll be 7-2. for the second out. Benny and Bond with the single. He'll advance to second on the throw, but I didn't think Mattingly had a shot out in right field. It wasn't very deep, but it took us a long for it to get to him.
Yeah, a lot of times when you see that base hit to left field, you're going to hold that guy at third. But I think in that situation, Coach Stratton was thinking, all right, here's an eighth grader. I'm going to make you make the perfect throw to throw my guy out. And to his credit, he did. I mean, it had to be a perfect throw, and he still got him in a bang-bang play.
Yep. Wild pitch. Gets Bond down to third. So we count 1 ball, no strikes to Seth Benner, the third baseman, 556. The senior, top 10 in the state with batting average up to this point. Pitch outside, strike 1. So 1-1, 2 outs here in the inning. And I don't think from Great Crossing's perspective, there's nobody they'd rather have at the plate right here than Seth Benner. With Benny and Bond down at third. Outside, ball 2.
Yeah, no doubt you want to have your best hitter in this spot with a runner in scoring position and 2 outs. You're going to rely on your leader. He certainly came through for him last night.
Here's the 2-1 pitch.
Yep.
Bond's hit was a kind of a number in the 6-hole. Benner said, no doubt about mine, buddy. As he gets a hard line drive through the 6-hole for an RBI. And just like that, add another hit, add another run, and Great Crossing takes the 2-1 lead. On the RBI single off the bat is Seth Benner, and that'll bring up Jacob Turlia. The senior first baseman flew out to the center fielder, Tanner Gray, to end the first inning. First pitch to him is a ball. Bottom of the third inning here, 2 outs. Inside pitch, ball 2 to the first baseman, Jacob Turlia. Seth Benner out at first base.
I tell you, Jacob's going to be kicking himself there because Seth had that stolen easy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not, on a 2-0 count, I don't think that was the greatest pitch to drive either. We had talked about that. I think that's what Coach Stratton's telling him right now. You're the 4 hitter for a reason. Let's let this ball travel. And
here's the 2-1 pitch to Turlia with Benner at first. Off speed, high, ball 3.
Let's go right here. Let's go. You want to make a play?
I'd expect to see Seth going here.
Nope. 3-1 pitch. Line drive. Fair. Down the line. Benner around second. Heading to third. Here comes Mattingly's throw. Gets past the third baseman. I tell you what, if the third baseman makes that play, Mr. Benner's probably out at third base. But instead we have Seth Benner down at third. Jacob Turlia with a single. He advances to the second on the air from the left fielder.
Well, you have a young player at third base, and sometimes they get into that where they feel like they have to stay at the bag. And in a play like that, if he just comes off the bag a little bit and catches that ball, he's still going to have time to make the play and get Benner out at third.
2 outs, 2 runners in scoring position for Peyton Harris, the catcher. Walked and scored in the second. And an opportunity to extend the lead here with Benner down at third and Turlia down at second. First error of the ball game for either team. Off-speed curveball, strike 1.
And Mike, even though that was a strike right there, you could even see Keitlinger getting a little frustrated with the zone. It's pretty tight today. Just like that right there. I mean, that's a good, strong fastball. And even though his body language is a little bit different than Logan's, they're both frustrated right now.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. Harris fouls it straight back. Count evens up at 2-2.
Here's where you got a base open. You got to make sure that he hits your pitch, even if he throws a ball here on the 3-2 count. No, I'm just going to throw it right down the middle.
Hard shot out to the center fielder, Tanner Gray. Two-hands it to end the inning. So in the inning, great crossing. Able to take the lead as Benny and Bond scores on the RBI single off the bat of Seth Benner. So 3 innings in the books. Your score, great crossing 2, Williamstown 1. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back for the top of the 4th. You're watching high school baseball. BirdsNestSports.com. Back after this.
Your health means everything. That's why we work to help keep you safe when you come to us for care. That's also why it's so important to not delay getting the care that you need. Whether it's an emergency, a checkup, or time for a screening like your annual mammogram, get the care that your health needs now, because your health means everything to us too.
Session stand is open.
Welcome back to BirdsNestSports.com. 3 innings in the book. Looking at your stat line.
Hot dog, Pizza Hut, Pan Pizzas at 11:30.
After 3 innings, Williamstown with 1 run, 2 hits, 1 error. Great crossing. Able to score 2 runs on 3 hits. Correction, make that 4 hits in the ball game for great crossing. My bad there. And really, Keitlinger has to be pretty happy. He gives up a walk and 3 singles, but only 1 run.
Absolutely. Left fielder made a great play for him. We had talked about them, that being the second time around. I thought they'd hit the ball a lot harder, which they did, but that's why you're throwing them strikes, so you can let your defense play. And Williamstown's still in the game here in the 4th inning. I think Coach Young will be the first to tell you, if we can get into the 4th inning and it's 2-1, then I'm going to be pretty pleased.
The first baseman, number 35.
So Logan Atkins getting set to start the 4th inning for the Warhawks. Leading off for Williamstown is the first baseman, Cameron Lawson, the senior, batting .279, already a single in the ball game. First pitch swinging. I'll tell you what, both teams liking that 6-hole today.
Well, when you have 2 pitchers who, are dominant off-speed guys, that's usually what you're going to do. You're pulling that ball.
Jalen Dixon.
To their credit, they're making that adjustment as hitters, and that's what you got to do.
Wow, what a jump out there by Cameron Lawson. I don't know if Logan Atkins wasn't paying attention, but he was 3 steps towards second base before Logan Atkins even almost started his motion to the plate.
Now I would expect him to put a bunt down here, try to get him to third base with less than.
Yep, that's it. He nubs it to Atkins. Atkins around quickly. A good throw over to Benner and an easy tag. Good play by Logan Atkins as he's able to force the runner at second base. So we'll go 1-5 in the books for the first out. Fielder's choice off the bat of Jalen Dixon, but he'll be down at first base. And again, good play by Logan Atkins right there. Kind of an aggressive base running out there by Cameron Lawson.
And I think Coach Young is mad at himself now. You got a guy on second, nobody out. Let's get him to third with 1 out. But instead, not only does he not go that route, but then one of his leaders, one of his senior leaders, makes a mistake. Ball hit right back to the pitcher. Usually you just want to freeze, and he tried to get to third and had no chance.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. Flare down to right field, foul ball. Count evens up at 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here. Top of the 4th inning. If you're watching us on the internet and you live close to the ballpark, 4 baseball games today. This is the first. 3 more. And great crossings will end the festivities in the first annual Warhawk Baseball Classic. They'll take on Bardstown at 6:30 tonight. We'll be bringing that to you. Ground ball to Bond. No chance to go to second. He'll flip it over to Turlita.
Smart play by Biniam right there. The ball's taking him to his left. Let's not try to come back and get a double play and make an errant throw. He just gets the easy out. Now you've got 2 outs with a guy on second, but that's exactly what he needed to do.
So up for the Demons, the number 9 hitter, the second baseman, Spillman Tennyson. Popped out the bond in the second. His second time up as well. Logan Atkins. First pitch, our second pitch, is also a ball. Jalen Dixon out at second base for Williamstown. 2 outs here. 2-0 pitch. Down the line is fair. Coach Young sending Dixon around. Up with it is Nicholson. And good hustle out there by Tennyson as he gets a single with an RBI and advances to second. So Tennyson is able to tie up this ball game as Jalen Dixon is able to score from second.
I want to tell you, I know that ball was down the line, but Dixon was getting it around third base. I'd like to see what his 40 time is.
Back to the top of the lineup, Cole Keitlinger. 0 for 1 in the ball game, struck out in the first, walked in the second. Ground ball outside the reach of Stewart, and Tennyson around third. Here comes the throw from Foster. It's high, and the high throw allows Cole Keitlinger to score. So a good jump out there by Spencer Spillman Tennyson.
The center fielder, number
3rd run, an RBI for Keitlinger, who was able to head down to second on the throw from Foster out in center field.
And I think Coach Stratton's got to be disappointed right there in the execution. You always want to hit your cutoff man there just in case if you don't have that chance to get him at home, which they didn't. Now you've allowed another runner to get into scoring position with 2 outs. If you hit your cutoff man right there, they're going to throw him out at second base and you're out of the inning, only down 1. Now you got a chance to where Williamstown may get another runner here with 2 outs.
So Spencer Stevens, courtesy running for the pitcher. One-0 pitch, fouled back by Tanner Gray, the sophomore center fielder. Count evens up at 1-1. So Coach Young has to be happy. Back-to-back single RBI variety. Scores 2 runs in the inning for the Demons. Here's another Benner on a hop. No chance. So an infield single. And Spencer Stevens able to head over to third base.
That's a good job right there by Seth. Don't try to make a throw there. You may throw it away. He had no chance. He eats the baseball. We live right here. We didn't give up a run. So now with 2 outs, you still got a chance to get out of the inning with no more damage.
So Tanner hands it back to his brother, Tucker Gray, 0 for 2 in the ball game. First pitch, strike 1.
We talked about him being tight right there. You could tell. I thought that ball was a little high, and so did Tucker.
7th batter of the inning for Williamstown. Off-speed pitch outside. Count goes to 2 balls. Or excuse me. Count 1-1, Coach, or is it?
Should be 1-1.
1 ball, 1 strike. Pitch is outside. 2 balls.
You wonder how Coach Young will play it here, too. You got first and third. A lot of times with 2 outs, you may send him, maybe try to get in a rundown. But I think with, your 3-hole hitter up, you're probably going to play it safe and see what he can do.
Turlia handles the grounder easily, so an unassisted out, put out by Jacob Turlia ends the inning, but damage is done as Williamstown is able to score 2 runs to take the lead. So after 3.5, Williamstown with the lead, 3-2 over Great Crossing. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. You're watching high school baseball. BirdsNestSports.com. Back after this.
Kierman, agency manager at the Scott County Farm Bureau Insurance, would like you to know that as your local insurance agent, he is right here in your community, ready to help you with all your insurance needs. In the event of a loss, you can count on Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance to help you through it. We have local claims adjusters to serve you at your time of loss. We are knowledgeable about our community and can provide valuable assistance and advice when needed. Call the office today at 502-863-2454 for a free, no obligation quote. Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, big on commitment.
Welcome back to BirdsNestSports.com. We go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Williamstown doing a good job there, didn't the coach? Able to take 2 runs to take the lead 3-2.
Yeah, put the ball in play, do what they had to do, and started that with the bottom of the order, which is what I'm sure Coach Young was really pleased with. Got it back up top, and several base hits there. So we got a game.
So Cole Keitlinger with the RBI single to give his team and more importantly himself the lead. So we'll see what Mr. Keitlinger does here.
The right fielder, number 15.
On the mound. Probably a little more hop in his step than it was going into that last inning. So bottom of the fourth, leading off for Great Crossing is Drake Bird, followed up by Stewart, then Foster. First 3 batters of the inning for the Warhawks. Here's the first pitch, off speed. Hit down the right field line, foul. Something. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Ground ball over to Spillman Tennyson. Flips it over to Lawson. 1 up, 1 down.
And Mike, we had talked about the frustration that Neitlinger might have been feeling all year long because he had only given up 15 earned runs, but they had scored 40, I believe it was. But today, Williamstown making every play.
Yep. Yeah, he given up 30 runs, only 15 of those earned. Only 1 error in the ball game up to this point. And if you really wanted to, you really didn't have to give a throw, but the runner did advance from first to second on the throw from Mattingly to the third baseman. Trying to get the runner out at third. Third baseman couldn't make the play as it pulled him off the bag. Foul ball back, 0-2. Ahead in the count is Cole Keitlinger, the senior. On the mound with the lead here as we're in the bottom of the fourth inning, 1 out. 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss.
And right now Cole's got to be juiced up. I mean, his team's got him the lead. He's throwing strikes. To me, that was the hardest pitch he had thrown all game.
Only his second strikeout of the ball game. Come into this game with 42 strikeouts. So averaging 7 strikeouts a game is Mr. Keitlinger. Only the second of the day. Aiden Foster now batting for Great Crossing, the center fielder. Flew out to Tennyson for the last out of the second inning. Finds himself even the count, 1-1. Here's the pitch, fouled straight back, and the count goes to 1-2.
Really got himself in a rhythm right now. We talked about that last night. Both pitchers were they worked in a hurry, and now Cole is feeling good, and he gets right back on that rubber, and he's ready to make the next pitch.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Foul ball, just foul, as it went over the foul side of the third base bag, which doesn't exist really.
That's right. I would expect Cole to come back with hard pitch right here.
So 2 outs in the inning. Here's the 1-2 pitch.
Came back with another breaker. He's got him set up for a hard fastball, maybe let her high. I think he might get him to chase. See what he does here.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. Off speed in the dirt. Count goes full. 2 walks so far in the ball game for Keitlinger. Atkins on the great crossing side with 3 walks. Pitch just outside, the free pass with 2 outs. Aiden Foster. 3rd walk of the ball game.
The left fielder, number 1, Colin Nicholson. On deck, Lions.
I think Neitlinger's kicking himself right there. At the bottom of the order, 1 and 2. You're a guy that throws a lot of strikes, but I just think he went to I know the curveball is his go-to pitch, but right there I think coming with the hard stuff would have been the best.
Off and running and hitting the ball over to the third baseman, Peter. Peter's up with it quickly. Not in time. And Aiden Foster stealing the base on the pitch. So infield single to Mr. Nicholson, and like you said, Aiden Foster stealing on the pitch, able to get to third on that infield single. So runners on the corners, 4. Great crossing. 2 outs here, and back to the top of the lineup. Zach Lyons, 0 for 1 in the ball game, walked his last time up. A chance to tie the ball game up here. First pitch swinging, fly ball out to the sure-handed Tanner Gray, and Keitlinger has to be happy getting out of that after a walk and an infield single. 2 runners stranded for great crossing. So through 4 innings, your score is Williamstown 3, great crossing 2. We'll be back for the top of the 5th inning. You're watching high school baseball. BirdsNestSports.com. Back after this.
Skierman, agency manager at the Scott County Farm Bureau Insurance, would like you to know that as your local insurance agent, he is right here in your community, ready to help you with all your insurance needs. In the event of a loss, you can count on Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance to help you through it. We have local claims adjusters to serve you at your time of loss. We are knowledgeable about our community and can provide valuable assistance and advice when needed. Call the office today at 502-863-2454 for a free, no obligation quote. Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, big on commitment.
I'm colder now than I was when I first got here.
Welcome back to the BirdsNestSports.com. If anybody has a heater, bring it in here. Coach Sutton says he's cold, and we got to keep him happy. He's the one that knows the game best amongst the 3 of us here today in the broadcast crew. That's why he gets paid the big bucks. So top of the 5th inning, Logan Atkins still in the bump, 4. Great crossing. Mr. Atkins has given up 6 base hits to go along with 3 walks, 3 runs.
Top half the 5th inning for the
and leading off for Williamstown is Kyron Held.
Kyron Held on deck, Mattingly.
First pitch from Atkins, strike 1 call.
I think right there Held's thinking, I've seen curveballs all day long, and then he sneaks a fastball in on me. Pretty disappointed that he didn't unload on that one.
I like the catcher for Williamstown, Mr. Held. He comes to plate with the hair kind of all over the place. When he's catching, he puts it up neatly so the umpire can see, I bet you. 0-1 pitch, foul ball. Count goes to 0-2.
And he was coming out of his shoes on that one.
Atkins ahead in the count. Curveball outside, ball 1.
You talked about his hair. I want to give him props for his stirrups.
I'm telling you.
A lot of high school baseball guys will wear them pants up so we can see the stirrups. I like that look. That's back in our Babe Ruth days.
Yes, it is. Good shot out to right center. The driving attempt is Aiden Foster. And they're going to say, with the catch, good job out there defensively by the senior center fielder, Aiden Foster. Mr. Held can't be happy with that one, but on the diving catch, first out of the inning, will bring up Alex Mattingly, the left fielder.
Aiden got a great jump on that ball and then laid out. That's just a terrific play.
The left fielder, number 14, Alex Mattingly, on deck, Lawson.
First pitch to Mattingly is low. Ball 1. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Just outside. Ball 2.
We had mentioned it leading off at the start of the game, but Alex with 10 extra base hits, second in the state with 6 triples. See if he can get a ball in the gap right here. and I love his approach. I mean, he is just a guy. He's just a baseball player. He's on top of the plate, not afraid of the baseball.
Another base hit into the 6-hole. 7th base hit of the ball game for Williamstown.
I think he'll be off and running here real soon.
The first baseman, number 35, Cameron Lawson, on deck, Dixon.
So now batting for Williamstown is Cameron Lawson, the senior first baseman, 2 for 2 in the ball game. Ball in the dirt, late jump. The throw to Stewart just a little bit late, so we'll say wild pitch. Advancing Mattingly. Down to second base. 1 out here. Top of the 5th inning. Runner in scoring position for Mr. Lawson. Looking for his 3rd base hit of the ball game. That pitch is high, and the count goes to 2 balls and no strikes.
Go, Logan. Deep breath, kid.
There you go. It's finally a pickoff move where he didn't throw it.
Yeah, I don't think he might have wanted to throw it, but I don't think anybody was there. Bond got there late. Stewart kind of cheating in the 6-hole. Tried to take away some of those singles. Swing and a miss. Count goes to 2-1.
That's a good pitch there.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. Outside, ball 3.
This is an important pitch right here for Logan. I think if he walks him, Coach Stratton, I can't see the bullpen, but you don't want this game to get away from you.
And a free pass.
I would not be at all surprised to see him come out right here, talk to him, and maybe possibly make a change.
Number 1.
He must be listening to the ball game in the dugout. He's like, well, Coach Sutton said I got to go out here, so I reckon I will. So runners at first and second for the Demons, trying to do more damage. And we're going to get a pinch runner. Our pinch hitter, that's called a relief pitcher.
There you go.
That's what they start calling it today. I was thinking offensively. New pitcher in for the Warhawks. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back, find out who the pitcher is, and give you his season stats. You're watching high school baseball on BirdsNestSports.com.
Oral surgery, you need a surgeon you can trust and feel at home with. Consider Dr. Robert Henderson at Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery. Specializing in wisdom teeth extraction, surgery to prepare for dentures, biopsies, corrective jaw surgery, TMJ disorders, and dental implants. All outpatient procedures are performed right here in our office. We participate with most insurance, we offer care credit, and take care of all the paperwork. Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery will give you a lot to smile about.
Scott County Physical Therapy is a privately owned physical therapy practice specializing in outpatient orthopedics, sports and industrial rehab, neurological rehabilitation, low back pain, neck pain, and arthritic conditions. Our mission is to provide the highest quality physical therapy to assist each individual and the community at large. Scott County Physical Therapy, a journey to wellness. To contact the physical therapist and Scott County Physical Therapy, please dial 502-863-4242. Scott County Physical Therapy is the title sponsor for Scott County Athletics.
Right-handed junior.
Welcome back to BirdsNestSports.com. New pitcher in the ball game for the Warhawks is the junior, number 32, Jacob Steele. Coach, looking at his stats. What are they on the year?
Yeah, he hasn't thrown a lot of innings. Only 2.2 innings on the year. 2 strikeouts, 2 walks. But when you're in a tournament like this and you're going to play 3 games in basically 24 hours, you got to rely on a lot of arms. And I feel like that, Coach Stratton was probably pleased with where Logan got him. Got him into the 5th inning. But you got to use an entire staff when you get to this point of the season, and when you're playing, like I said, 3 games in 2 days. So we'll see what Jacob can do here.
So 1 out in the inning. Jacob Steele on the bump. Pickoff move back to Bond. In quickly and easily is Alex Mattingly. So Alex Mattingly out at second base. Cameron Lawson over at first. Jalen Dixon hitting for the Demons. 0 for 1 in the ball game. Walked, reached on the fielder's choice, and scored the second run of the ball game. He squares around the bunt and misses it a little bit. And I think he tried to pretty much had the bunt there in his second time up unsuccessfully.
Yeah, and Jalen, if he was to put this ball down the third base line, because right now Great Crossings has the third base holding, it could cause a lot of trouble for Great Crossings.
Throw out to second base. Stewart does a good job of keeping that in front of him. I'll tell you what, Jacob Turlia over at first base. He's only about 30 feet away by the time the pitch crosses the plate.
Yeah, he's charging hard, and what they're going to want is for Jacob to cover the third base side. But with a left-hand hitter up,
that bunt attempt is foul. The count goes to 1-2.
Yeah, it can cause a lot of trouble, but, Jalen's been asked to bunt already a couple times and just has still yet to get the ball down. He doesn't look real comfortable doing it, but really would be trouble, I think, for Great Crossings if he got this ball down the left field line. We'll see if he comes back with 2 strikes and tries it again.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fouls it straight back. And as you're saying, Coach, Benner over at third base cannot charge because you have a runner out at second.
Right. And Coach Young decides to go ahead and let him free swing here with 2 strikes. Most coaches, I think, a lot of your coaches, once they get to 2 strikes, they won't do it.
It's a 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss.
I was actually against that. I was a guy, if I was going to ask you to bunt, that even with 2 strikes, I was going to tell you to get it down, because if you got 2 strikes on you and all you've been doing is trying to bunt, and then you try to hit a curveball that's coming at you at 79 miles an hour, it's tough to do, and that's exactly what happened there.
So Jonathan Peter at the plate, 0 for 2 in the ball game. First pitch, foul ball. Coach Young down in the third base coaching box, showing the nifty feet to get out of the way of that one.
Yeah, Coach Young has to be disappointed there. You get 2 guys on with an out, and you're trying to get them in scoring position, and not only do you not do that, but you just didn't get anything out of that at bat at all.
0-1 pitch. Strike 2.
But I tell you got to credit Jacob for coming in and throwing strikes. That can be difficult when you're coming out of the pen, especially for somebody who's trying to bunt, but he got him out, and now he's 0-2 on this hitter.
So we're in the top of the 5th inning here. 2 outs, 2 runners on. Here's the 0-2 pitch. High ball 1. Trying to see if he would chase it.
But that's a good pitch. Don't mind that pitch at all. 0-2, come in, chin high, maybe he chases. Here I'm guessing he's going to come back with a curveball. See if he gets him to chase.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Curveball, line drive, back up the box. Foster picking it up. But Mattingly coming in to score. As all Peyton Harris could do was knock it down. So an RBI single for Mr. Pierre.
And that's a huge at-bat by the freshman.
So 4th run of the ball game.
Now batting the second baseman.
Lawson down, able to advance to second.
On deck.
So another base hit. 8th base hit of the ball game for Williamstown, their 4th run. And now Spillman Tennyson. 1 for 2 with an RBI his last time up. Scored the 3rd run for Williamstown. Swing and miss on that first pitch. Oh, 1 pitch, fouled back straight into the net. And just like that, Jacob Steele, the junior, ahead in the count here, 2 outs. That run is charged. Tennyson Spillman?
Yeah. Again, not a bad 0-2 pitch right there. Trying to get him to chase.
Here's the pitch. Ground ball. Bond on the hopper, scoops it, and flips it over to Turlia for the last out of the inning. But some more damage is done, as in the inning, the Demons are able to score 1 run on 2 hits. No errors and left 2 runners on base. So Williamstown extends the lead. It's 4-2. As Great Crossing getting set to bat here in their half of the 5th inning. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. High school sports, birdsnestsports.com. Back after this.
Surgery, you need a surgeon you can trust and feel at home with. Consider Dr. Robert Henderson at Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery. Specializing in wisdom teeth extraction, surgery to prepare for dentures, biopsies, corrective jaw surgery, TMJ disorders, and dental implants. All outpatient procedures are performed right here in our office. We participate with most insurance, we offer care credit, and take care of all the paperwork. Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery will give you a lot to smile about.
Scott County Physical Therapy is a privately owned physical therapy practice specializing in outpatient orthopedics, sports and industrial rehab, neurological rehabilitation, low back pain, neck pain, and arthritic conditions. Our mission is to provide the highest quality physical therapy to assist each individual and the community at large. Scott County Physical Therapy, a journey to wellness. To contact the physical therapist and Scott County Physical Therapy, please dial 502-863-4242. Scott County Physical Therapy is the title sponsor for Scott County.
Probably watching Trace.
Welcome back to the birdsnestsports.com. Good ball game here as we go into the bottom of the 5th inning. Williamstown with the lead 4-2, and they've got their ace, Cole Keitlinger, on the mound. Again, apologies need to be made to Mr. Spillman's, the second baseman's relatives. We had it down wrong in the book. So I've been saying Spillman Tennyson, but we're going to reverse that from now on. We're going to get it right and call him by his right name, Tennyson Spillman. So again, apologies to that. And we're ready for action here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Leading off is Benny and Bond. First pitch swinging, foul. 2 for 2 in the ball game. Benny scored the second run for Great Crossing in that 3rd inning. 0-1 pitch. Inside.
A little surprised that Benny just didn't let that ball hit him in the shoulder and get on first and get this rally started.
Ball hit pretty good. And a great jump out there is Gray. Hits his glove, but he's unable to hold it. That's a tough play out there. Base hit or an error, Coach?
That is a tough play.
I'm going to give him an error. He's been making too many plays. He's set the bar high for me.
Yeah, he was on his horse, but it did hit him right in the glove. That's got to be frustrating.
On deck, Turlia.
So I see Benny running around first. I saw shades of his brother Simon. Looked just like him running around. But that's a great, leadoff hitter right there. He's been on fire for this team, and it's exactly what you wanted. You get into that 6th and 7th inning, and you're down 2 runs. Man, it makes things very difficult. I don't care who you're playing.
So nobody happier than Seth Benner as he comes to the box with the runners in scoring position. Already 1 RBI for Mr. Benner. He's 1 for 2 in the ball game. That pitch there called a strike. And the count goes to 0-1.
I tell you, Benniam has a huge lead, and they're holding him on too. I might expect to see they're going to come to the plate.
0-1 pitch outside, ball 1.
But he's almost halfway down to 3rd when this pitch is made. He may try to steal one right here.
Curveball. He waits on it. Line shot down the 3rd base line. Mattingly up with it. Bond trying to score. And the throw been on line. Bond almost stumbled and fell down coming around 3rd base. Mattingly with a strong throw, but Held had to go up into the play, a field of play, about 4 feet, couldn't catch and get back. So another RBI single.
And I tell you, we had talked about the play that Mattingly had made before, making the perfect throw on a bang-bang play. He just showed what a strong arm he has there because Bond's got speed, and that ball was hit right down the line. It wasn't like it was right to him on the previous play. Goes and gets it and comes up and makes a strong throw. It was a little towards the first base side, but he gave himself a chance.
So the count 0-1 here. Ground ball. Benner on his way to third. Good play.
Sure was.
By Tucker Gray over to Lawson. That advances the runner. Talia did his job.
That play is not as easy as he's making it look.
The catcher, number 10.
Well, that's a great job by Tucker Gray right there.
Peyton Harris, 0 for 1 in the ball game. Scored the first run of the ball game in the second for Great Crossing. A chance to tie this ball game up with Bender down at third base. First pitch.
Well, I was just getting ready to say, Mike, that Williamstown was conceding the run. They were not playing the infield in. But now with the guy on first base, they might be able to get a double play and get out of it. But probably would be tough with the left-handed hitter.
Yep. Peyton Harris does all the dirty work. He takes the pitch into the ribs, and now Mason Wiley goes out to courtesy run for him. So it'll be Mason Wiley at first, Seth Benner down at third. 2 runners on base for the Warhawks, and Mr. Drake Bird. First pitch. As Wiley is off on the pitch. Nobody really cares about that from the Williamstown side. So 2 runners in scoring positions here, 1 out. Bottom of the 5th inning. Drake Bird 0 for 1 in the ball game. Ground ball to Tennyson Spillman. I think Coach Stratton would take that again. Coach, what do you think?
Absolutely.
1 out. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fly ball out to Tanner Gray in center field. That's going to score Benner, and Wiley's going to be able to advance to third. So great job on the sacrifice fly for the second out of the inning. 1 RBI for Mr. Bird. And that will score Seth Benner for the 4th run of the ball game. And Wiley, courtesy running for Harris, is now at third base.
Grant Stewart on deck. Foster.
So Great Crossing able to tie the ball game up. Now Grant Stewart trying to get the lead with Wiley down at third base. Keitlinger's pitch, strike 1 call. Good job by Drake Bird right there, getting something he could elevate, hit it out to center field. Off-speed pitch outside.
You ready out there, Jalen?
And Keitlinger really wanted that pitch. That was a good-looking pitch. That pitch that we have been talking about that's right on the outside, that curveball seems to be going across the plate. And there he gets the call. But we'll see if he doesn't bump this out just a little bit more to see if he can't get Stewart to chase.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. 2 outs, runner at third.
He left that
just
out
a little bit early. Great Crossing with another pitcher up in the bullpen. Coach Young and Williamstown. I think they're going to let Keitlinger go the distance here if he can. They don't have anybody up in the dugout or in the bullpen. Pop up down the first base side. Tracking it down is Lawson. Not enough room.
We talked about this previously with Cole. He's, that curveball is his pitch, but I think there are certain times when he needs to come with the hard stuff, and this might be one of them right here. We'll see what he comes with.
Off-speed pitch in the dirt, 2-2. Good job by Held. Coach, I was going to ask you, is it a lot easier coaching up here and doing analysis instead of in that third base box?
Absolutely.
I hear you. I've watched you. This is your 3rd game now, and you've not made a mistake yet. So good job.
And the thing is, I'm probably getting paid more here than I was coaching. So
yeah, when you add all the unaccounted for hours, it has another fly ball in the glove of Tanner Gray for F8. 3rd out. So Great Crossing is able to tie it up here. 2 runs scored. One of those were earned. 1 base hit, 1 error, 1 runner left on base. So through 5 complete. We're all knotted up at 4. You're watching high school baseball on birdsnestsports.com. Back after this.
County Veterinary Clinic offers complete animal health care, including hospitalization, surgery, in-house blood work, and laser therapy, along with a state-of-the-art boarding facility and a large yard to run and play. Find us online for more information.
Welcome back to birdsnestsports.com. Mike Ritchie along with the coach Scott Sutton. Toby Murray run the camera for us. 5 innings of books. We're knotted at 4 apiece. Williamstown, Great Crossing, great baseball game here. We go to the top of the 6th inning.
The pitcher, number 3, Cole Keitlinger, on deck, Gray.
Leading off for the Demons is Keitlinger. 2 for 3 in the ball game, 2 RBIs for the leadoff hitter and pitcher for Williamstown. Let me update the scoreboard. The top of the 6th. Kind of reaches for that, flips it out into right center field. Aiden Foster, one-hand catch for the first out of the inning.
Go, Tanner Gray.
That's a good job right there.
Center fielder, number 7, Tanner
Jacob
Gray.
Steele, got to say hats off. He said he hadn't pitched very many innings, but he's come in and done a great job right here so far.
He really has. When you come in and get that leadoff hitter out, then you're doing a good job.
Base hit in front of Aiden Foster. So Tanner Gray with the 9th base hit of the ball game for Williamstown. And he'll pass it back to his older brother, Tucker Gray, the shortstop. 0 for 3 tonight. Batting .380, which means statistically he's due for a hit right here. On the dirt, good job by Mr. Harris to keep the runner Tanner Gray over at first base.
And Mike, I want to give Tim Cooper a shout out there. He and his father-in-law, they're watching Trace Wilhoit, former Scott County star, playing in a junior college tournament down in Florida, and they sent us a text, said they were watching, and we wish Trace the best of luck. Had an outstanding career here at Scott County, and playing really well, and they're in the regionals right now, so good luck to Trace.
Yep. And that's the beauty of doing high school sports on the internet. In our 10 years of doing this, we've pretty much, we've had a couple of foreign exchange students that their parents never missed a ball game in their 4-year high school career.
Yeah, that's fun.
So glad to bring it to them, and good luck to Trace down in Florida, and shout out to Mr. Cooper and the McClanahans. So 1 out here in the top of the 6th inning. Tanner Gray down at first base.
Yeah, it was great spending time with them during Sam's career and all those parents. It was just so much fun being down that left field line, and that goes by way too quick.
Yes, it does.
Way too quick. I would give anything to be able to have another 4 years of that.
So 2-2 count here. Pitch from Steele on its way. Outside, and the count goes 4 as Harris knocks it down, keeps it in front of him.
Jacob tried to be a little too fine right there. He just needs to relax, let your defense play. He's got an excellent defense behind him. You don't want to walk a guy right here and put 2 guys on this late in the game.
Ball hit into the gap. I don't think we're going to get to it. As Tanner Gray is off to the races as the ball bounces off the wall. Good job by Foster into Stewart. The throw home. A little bit late, and Tucker Gray gives him a double with an RBI. He's able to go to third on the throw. But Williamstown making the short trip down here, and pretty much they're giving Great Crossing all they want and more, as that's their 10th hit of the ball game.
Now batting.
And they retake the lead.
Number 15.
5-4 here. With 1 out. And Kyron held the catcher 0 for 3.
I'm really surprised right here that Great Crossings is not playing their infield in.
On deck.
Don't want to give up another run this late in the game.
Yep. Corners are in, but Stewart and Bond are playing kind of halfway.
They are, but a ground ball to either, Bond or Stewart, and he's going to score from third base. So
Tucker Gray doing damage. He hits a bomb out to left center field. That gets to the wall and scores the younger brother. Tanner Gray all the way from first base. And Williamstown regains the lead on the 10th hit of the ball game, as they lead 5-4 here with 1 out in the top of the 6th inning. Held with the free pass.
Well, we talked about that before the game, held with 18 walks on the season, now make it 19.
Now batting, the left fielder.
He's a guy with a good eye.
Alex Mattingly on deck.
And that's an unusual trait for a power hitter, in the 4-hole.
Yep. He definitely has a keen eye and does his job with the number of walks he has had on the season. And now he's handing it back to Alex Mattingly. We've talked about him numerous times, made a couple of good defensive plays out in the outfield. Good-looking hitter, as he's 1 for 2, 2 runs scored up to this point, and a chance looking for a ball to elevate here with runners on the corner.
Great Crossings has somebody warming up in the pen, so. But this is the guy you warm up if you're Williamstown, first and third with an out.
There's a big swing. That's about our 5th hit into the 6th hole. So Gray scores the 6th run of the ball game. 11th hit. And RBI as well for Mr. Mattingly. So 11th hit, like we said, for Williamstown, 6th run. And Coach Stratton coming out to talk to Mr. Steele, and we're going to have another pitcher into the ball game. So with that being said, what we'll do is we'll take a timeout. We'll come back and figure out who the pitcher is and get some stats for you on the relief pitcher when we return. You're watching high school baseball on birdsnestsports.com. Back after this.
And Bird's Nest Athletics would like to take this opportunity to thank our corporate sponsors: Bluegrass Orthopedics, Georgetown News Graphic, Denise M. Keene, Certified Public Accountant, Brickhouse Properties Real Estate, Chick-fil-A, Toyota Motor Manufacturing of Kentucky, Clark's Pump and Shop, Georgetown Community Hospital, West Banco, Greens Toyota of Lexington, Ozer Paint and Flooring, Scott County Veterinary Clinic, People's Bank, Time to Shine Car Wash, Steve Skierman, Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, Domino's Pizza, Burger King, Galvin's on Main. This broadcast has been made possible by these corporate sponsors and viewers like you.
It's on that one sheet from them. Welcome back to birdsnestsports.com. New pitcher in the ball game for Great Crossing. That would be the senior wearing number 45, Austin Mead. 2 saves on the season for the lefty.
Number 45, Austin
And Coach, looking at his season stats, why don't you go over those for us?
Yeah, he's thrown 13 innings, giving up 25 hits, 12 earned runs, 6 walks, 9 Ks. But he is an experienced guy, so expect to see him come in throwing strikes. But they've got to get out of this right now with no more damage. You can try to manufacture a run here and there and tie this thing up to get into extra innings, but you start getting into 3 and 4 runs, and it changes the complete approach from how you play it when Great Crossings is back on offense. It's a little bit different. If you're down 4 runs, you can't just bunt somebody over and try to score. So Jacob needs to, or excuse me, Austin needs to come in and shut this down for the Warhawks.
Yep. So Williamstown has Kyron Held out at second. Alex Mattingly with the RBI single to plate that 6th run. He's over at first base. Batting is Cameron Lawson, the first baseman. The lefty, Austin Mead, gets a pop-up on the first pitch. Mead tries to make the play, unable to do it, but they're going to get a force as the runners, pretty much nothing that Held could do out there on that pop-up. So we're going to say fielder's choice, and we're going to say...
I'm surprised Coach Stratton is not coming out. First of all, why wasn't that an infield fly rule? Yep. And then if that was the case and the hitter was out, then they had the guy at third on the tag.
Yep.
But instead, they're letting this play out.
I'm going to wait before I update the book here, because you are correct. That was a fair ball, so infield fly. Should have been into play, and Held would have been out
at third, and they should be out of the inning. That's... unless they just didn't feel like that was a catchable ball, but to me it was clearly in the, that was high enough. And it looked to me like the umpire was calling him out even when he dropped the ball. Well, if he's calling him out with him dropping the ball, that means he was calling the infield fly, and then the throw to third base would have been your third out, but instead they just played it as if it was a dropped ball, and then they got the force at third.
So Jalen Dixon at the plate. Strike called. Count goes to 2-1.
And Dixon's showing that bunt like he has all game, but this is not the spot for it. You got 2 outs. You need to come up here and get a base hit.
Yep. Jalen Dixon 0 for 2 in the ball game. Scored a run in the 4th. Ground ball.
It's going to be
Stewart. Stewart has to go to first. Nice scoop.
Sure
We've seen a couple, 3 nice plays over there defensively by Jacob Turlia. So 6-3 in the books for the third out. But Williamstown does some damage. They score 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and left 2 runners on base. So we'll go to the bottom of the 6th when we return. Williamstown with the lead, 6-3 over Great Crossing. Back after this.
Ever wonder where the capital A in Chick-fil-A came from? It started with grade A, top quality chicken. But we believed everything, not just the food, should be grade A.
A is for above and beyond.
An extra level of care.
A game.
From caring for our guests in our community to cleanliness and safe service with a My Pleasure. A is for all the little things we do to bring you our best every day.
A little funky dance.
And that too.
Welcome back to BirdsNestSports.com. Mike Ritchie along with the coach, Scott Sutton. We're at Grace Crossing High School. Good ball game right here. Probably a little bit of a surprise, to be honest. Williamstown brings in their ace pitcher, Cole Keitlinger. He's only allowed 4 runs for Great Crossing, and his team is able to put up a 6th spot to take the lead as we go into the bottom of the 6th inning. Williamstown 6, Great Crossing 4. Coach, what do you think about this? What's Great Crossing got to do to get back in this thing?
Well, they got to get some. First thing you got to do is get some base runners. You've got to tell Coach Stratton, I'm sure, is telling his hitters, look, you're not going to hit a 2-run home run when you're up there with nobody on base. Let's get somebody on base first.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, I'm sure he's thinking, I've got my 8-9 hitters up. I just want to get one of these guys on the bag, let the top get back up, who's produced all game long. And if you can get Benner to the plate in this inning, then I think he would take that, because he's going to have a couple guys on if Benner gets up in this inning.
And Keitlinger kind of in the groove. He's given up 3 walks today. Only had 4 in the season coming in. Only 2 strikeouts to go with 4 walks for the senior, Cole Keitlinger. Coming in the ball game, he had 42 strikeouts and only 4 walks. So
yeah, I was just going to say that goes against what he's done. But here we are in the bottom of the 6th, and he's got a 6-4 lead. That ball is roped.
Down the line, gets past Mattingly, and it goes all the way to the fence. And quickly, Great Crossing with Runner in scoring position as Aiden Foster does a great job with a leadoff double.
Now batting, the left fielder.
7th hit of the ball game for the Warhawks.
On deck, Lions.
Now the number 9 hitter, Colin Nicholson, the left fielder, 1 for 2 in the ball game. He had the 5th hit for the Warhawks in the 4th inning. No outs here. Runner in the form of Aiden Foster. Squaring the bunt is Nicholson. With the Warhawks down 2 runs.
Yeah, I wondered if Coach Stratton would go with the bunt there. I'm a little surprised. You've already got a guy in scoring position. You're down 2. And Colin got a hit last time up, but I certainly understand. Let's get a guy to third, cut this thing down to 1, but now he's swinging away.
Inside, the count evens up 1-1. And again, you pretty much see all hitters nowadays, unless that pitch is up around their shoulders, they don't even attempt to get out of the way.
No.
Curveball.
That was a good pitch there.
Yes, it was. So the count's 2-1, no outs here. Runner in scoring position for the Warhawks. Aiden Foster with a leadoff double. A rope down the left field line that goes all the way to the wall before Mattingly can run it down.
You know the thing about Keitlinger is that all game long, if he didn't get a pitch that he thought was a strike, he still came right back with another strike, just like right there.
Yep.
That's a seasoned guy who's been around a long time. It is so tough to control your emotions as a pitcher, but the better ones can do it. If they feel like the umpire's squeezing them, but yet they can come right back and continue to throw the pitches that they need to throw, and he's done that all year long.
Nicholson staying alive. Good breaking pitch right there, but he's able to foul it off. Count 2-2, no outs here, bottom of the 6th inning. Great Crossing finds himself down by 2. The score 6-4 in favor of Williamstown. Aiden Foster led off the inning with a double. And here's the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Big strikeout. 4. Mr. Keitlinger, that's his 3rd of the ball game. First down of the inning. Now we're back to the top of the lineup. Zach Lyons, 0 for 2 in the ball game. A chance to get Great Crossings a little bit closer right here with 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. Good jump by Foster. I think he had that base stolen regardless, so we'll give him a stolen base.
He did. And you would expect to see Williamstown play for the out here, and they are. You don't see Coach Young bringing them in. If they give up a run here, if you can get a ground ball out, you're going to take it. You're still up 6-5 if that happens, and you've got 2 outs.
Pitch in the dirt. Count goes to 2-0. And the question I have for you, Coach, with that kind of mentality, wouldn't you have Lawson maybe playing back a little bit deeper at first base? He's about 2 steps in front of the bag.
I would, yes. Yeah.
Coaching's fun from the broadcast booth.
It is.
Here's the 2-0 pitch. Check swing.
I'm surprised they're not checking that.
Well, it's hard to check it with the umpire out at second base. So the count's 3-0 to Mr. Lyons. He fouls it off, and now it goes 3-1.
And I'm real surprised that he gave Zach the green light right there.
Yeah, you saw that motion from Coach Stratton. He goes palms up on him. I don't think he expected him to swing on that. And so regardless, 3-1's the count. 1 out here. Zach Lyons, another down the right field line. It falls in. And Mr. Lyons gets a single and an RBI. 7th hit of the ball game. 8th hit of the ball game.
Number 2.
And we had talked about it before. If you can get Benner up in this inning, then that means you've got a great chance with your best hitter. And unless Benniam gets doubled up, which I don't see happening with the speed that he has, then Seth's going to get that chance.
An easy stolen base for Zach Lyons. Not even the throw from held. Again, they're off. They might have picked something up from the motion from Keitlinger. They've gotten quite a few stolen bases off him today.
They do. Benningham's had a great day. He's 2 for 3 technically, but, you know, the error was a well-hit ball to deep center field, so there's another one.
There's another rope. Mattingly with a good jump. Everybody track it down. Back in sliding is Lyon. So good play out there by the 8th grader, Mr. Mattingly, for the second out of the inning. That'll bring up Seth Benner.
Boy, he's just a good-looking prospect out there. He makes plays, has a strong arm, obviously has good speed with the amount of extra base hits he's had all year. And I'm sure right now we talked about it, Coach Young's coming out saying, look, I don't know that we're going to give this guy a swing. We got a base open. Let's put him on with 2 outs, and we'll make the next guy beat us. The one thing you don't want to do as a pitcher or as a team is let the other team's best player beat you. And I will be shocked right here if they allow Seth to even swing the bat. And he may be saying, you know, keep it away from him or whatever. But if I'm right there, I'm saying put him on first base. You know, we'll have the force out, and we'll try to attack the next one. And not that Jacob, certainly, I mean, the guy hitting 370 with 4 doubles is easy. But, you know, Benner hitting 556 with 6 home runs, I just don't think you want to pitch him the ball right here.
And then last night he hit his 7th home run, hit a bomb, a blast to left center field, which wound up being the winning run for Great Crossing.
But it looks like instead of walking him, they're just going to play. They've got all 3 infielders on the left side, so I'm still just shocked.
First pitch swinging, hits a pretty good shot. Tanner Gray underneath of it, catches it at the warning track for the 3rd out of the inning. So Benner tried to drive one deep to center field. Tanner Gray got a great jump. So Keitlinger and Coach Young get out of it. And they still maintain a 1-run lead as Great Crossing is only able to score 1 run there in their half of the 6th inning. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back for the 7th. Got a great ball game going on right here. You're watching High School Sports on birdsnestsports.com. Back after this.
Oral surgery, you need a surgeon you can trust and feel at home with. Consider Dr. Robert Henderson at Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery. Specializing in wisdom teeth extraction, surgery to prepare for dentures, biopsies, corrective jaw surgery, TMJ disorders, and dental implants. All outpatient procedures are performed right here in our office. We participate with most insurance, we offer care credit, and take care of all the paperwork. Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery will give you a lot to smile about.
Welcome back to birdsnestsports.com. I'll tell you what, Coach, sigh of relief over there by head coach for Williamstown, Bobby Young. They decided to pitch to Seth Benner.
Well, they did, and you know, they got away with it, which is why they're down there and we're up here. But, you know, Benner drove that a long way to dead center field. Center fielder goes back and makes it right at the fence. But I'm sure that they were nervous when that ball was hit because I thought it might have been out of here.
Now, what I was going to ask you, Coach, is pretty much the infield was playing all 3 infielders on the left side. I don't know if it was on purpose or what, but you would have thought Tanner Gray would have been more into left center field, and if he was, he wouldn't have caught that ball. He made that play look good and look easy, and he went a pretty good piece for that one as he got a good jump and caught it at the warning track for the 3rd out of the inning.
Yeah, that was a surprise. When you saw them make the shift, you knew they were going to pitch to him, but still got good wood on the baseball. Just made a nice play and hit it to the wrong part of the park. I mean, if that's anywhere else, it's a home run.
So again, your recap through 6th inning. Williamstown, 6 runs, 11 hits, 1 error. Great Crossing, 5 runs, 8 hits, and no errors. As we start the top of the 7th, into the batter's box is Mr. Peer. Had an RBI single, scoring the 1st run. Good scoop by Grant Stewart. And I'll tell you what, he just made it look easy.
I was just going to say, he's made it look easy the last 2 games.
So 1 out here for Great Crossing.
The second baseman, number 22.
In the bottom of this
Spillman on deck.
7th inning. Now it'll be up to the number 9 hitter, Tennyson Spillman, the second baseman. 1 for 3 in the ball game with an RBI. Scored the 3rd run of the ball game for Williamstown. First pitch called strike by the home plate umpire. And Austin Meade has to keep it a one-run ball game to give his team a chance. Swing and a miss, strike 2. We talked about Austin with 2 saves on the season. That ranks him number 12 in the state with 2 saves.
He's done a terrific job coming in, throwing strikes. That was an excellent pitch right there.
So strikeout 4. Mr. Meade, his first.
Pitcher, number
and now we'll go back to the top of the lineup. Cole Keitlinger.
On deck, Gray.
Cole has a walk with an RBI, a single RBI, struck out, and flew out to Aiden Foster in center field his last time up. First pitch.
As soon as we say it, we jinxed him. Throwing strikes, and he comes in and plucks him on the first pitch.
Now batting, the center fielder, number 7, Tanner Gray. On deck, Gray.
Come on, Tanner Gray. Be ready, be alert.
So Tanner Gray, the smooth fielding center fielder out there for Williamstown in the batter's box. First pitch taken, ball 1. Tanner 3 for 3 in the ball game, or excuse me, 3 for 4. 3 singles and a strikeout. 2 outs here. Keitlinger over at first. And pretty much a replay of the previous batter, another hit batsman for Austin Meade. And what's unique about that, you say, well, he's just trying to get the ball inside or it's not breaking, but he's coming from the left-hand side and hitting the batter in the hip on the right batter's box.
Gray on deck, held.
Yeah,
so now
come in and roll through, 4 straight guys. I think maybe just a lack of concentration. Got 2 outs, so this is going to be easy, and now all of a sudden.
Ground ball to Benner. He catches it. Heady play as he just steps on the bag. And again, Williamstown had a shot right there. Tucker Gray come up the last time, hit an RBI double. Had a chance there to score 2 more, but instead you get an unassisted put out for great crossing as Benner makes the play as he catches the ball, steps on the bag. So the score 6-5 in favor of Williamstown. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back to see if Keitlinger can hold on or the Warhawks can score too. You're watching high school baseball on BirdsNestSports.com. Back after this.
County Physical Therapy is a privately owned physical therapy practice specializing in outpatient orthopedics, sports and industrial rehab, neurological rehabilitation, low back pain, neck pain, and arthritic conditions. Our mission is to provide the highest quality physical therapy to assist each individual and the community at large. Scott County Physical Therapy, a journey to wellness. To contact the physical therapist and Scott County Physical Therapy, please dial 502-863-4242. Scott County Physical Therapy is the title sponsor for Scott County.
Welcome back to BirdsNestSports.com. Mike Ritchie along with the coach, Scott Sutton. Toby Murray running the camera. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. Williamstown has their ace, Cole Keitlinger, on the mound. Comes in the ball game with 42 strikeouts, 4 walks, an ERA of 3.0, and a chance here in the bottom of the 7th inning if he can hold on to give his team the victory. Great crossing on the other side. They'll be in the middle of the lineup. Jacob Turlia will lead off. Peyton Harris, Drake Bird, first 3 batters up. Great crossing, needs to score at least 1 to extend this ball game. If they can't score 1, the ball game will be over. If they can score 2, the ball game will be over. The only difference is in one situation, Williamstown wins,
7th inning for the Warhawks.
and the other situation, great crossing wins. So it's all up to Jacob Turlia. He has to play leadoff hitter. I know he's the number 4 hitter, coach, but he has to do whatever he can to get on the base here.
Absolutely, and that's what the mentality right now is. Let's just tie this thing up. You're the home team. Let's get a guy on. Let's get him in scoring position.
First pitch, probably not an ideal swing there. Ball looked a little bit outside.
Yeah, he was a little anxious right there, but he just needs to relax.
0-1 pitch, high.
Great eye from a cute guy. Now let's go.
pitch.
He swung through that one. So the count's 1-2 to Jacob Turlia. 1 for 3 in the ball game. Grounds it back straight into the glove of Cole Keitlinger. He steps and throws for the first out of the inning. As he flips it over to Cameron Lawson. And that'll leave it up next for Great Crossing. Peyton Harris.
Peyton Harris on deck. Bird.
Peyton is 0 for 1 in the ball game with a walk and got hit by a pitch his last time up.
You know, if you're Great Crossings, you're still thinking to yourself, look, with the success that we've had stealing bases today, let's just get on the bag. We feel like we can steal, and now all of a sudden you've got that tying run.
There's the number. Tucker Gray with the tough play, bare hand throw. The stretch by Lawson is just in time. So you got to say hats off on the barehanded fielding play. He catches it with the bare hand, throws it in the same motion by Tucker Gray. And a really good stretch over there by Cameron Lawson. That was a bang-bang play, but no argument from Great Crossing. So 6-3 for the second out of the inning, and Great Crossing, just like that, is down to their final out of the ball game. And that'll bring up Drake Bird to the plate. Drake's done a good job sacrificing today. He has 2 of those to go along with the ground out to Tennyson Spillman at second base. So 0 for 1 in the ball game for Mr. Bird. And he's going to extend it as he gets the ball over the head of the second baseman into right center field for a single. And again, like you were saying, Coach, with that single right there, they've had success stealing so far. So good opportunity to get a runner in scoring position.
It is. I would expect to see Grant take a pitch here and give him the green light on stealing. Try to get him to second base, but we'll see how Coach Stratton plays it.
Yep. Grant Stewart 0 for 3 in the ball game. Trying to keep him close is Keitlinger. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Warhawk's not finished yet. I think Keitlinger has an understanding that there's a good chance of a runner getting...
He absolutely does. He understands the importance of keeping him at first base. But at some point, you are going to have to come to the plate. But you've done your job keeping him close.
Fouls that one back. Count goes to 0-1. Runners off. Stewart swings through it. An easy stolen base for Drake Bird. But on that steal, he gets into scoring position. But Grant Stewart protecting him at the plate, swings through it. So behind the count, 0-2 to Keitlinger here. Here's the pitch. Off-speed, lined foul down the third base line.
This, you know, Williamstown's catcher's coming out right there saying, hey, look, we got an 0-2 count. Don't give him that good of a pitch right here because he hung that breaker.
Yes, he did. You want that breaking pitch in the dirt.
We'll see where he goes here. But he's been living on that curveball all game long. At this point, I don't see him going away from it.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. Hit into left center field. They're not going to get to it. And the ball game is tied on the 0-2 double off the bat of Grant Stewart as he keeps the ball game alive. And more importantly for Great Crossing on their 10th hit of the ball game was he's able to get to second base. So that'll give Aiden Foster an opportunity.
And I tell you, you can see the frustration on Keitlinger's face because, that ball got a little bit more of the plate than he wanted, but off the bat, I thought it was going to be a routine fly ball, but it just kept floating and got in that gap, and you got to feel for the kid.
Yep. And Mattingly out in left field was pretty much playing guarding the line. Tanner Gray out in center field was playing straight up, so pretty much you couldn't have laid it in a better spot. So an RBI double with 2 outs. More importantly, 0-2 pitch with 2 outs. Hits one into the gap. Does Grant Stewart.
And he came back with that curveball again. I mean, we've talked about that's what he's lived and died with all game, so why go away from it? But Stewart just got a good piece of it.
Aiden Foster, number. Coach Stratton tries to barehand it, keeps it in front of him, picks it up, flips it over to the dugout.
And Mike, don't be surprised right here if he gets 2 strikes on the hitter to see maybe Coach Stratton try to, well, we're not going to see it now.
He pops it up. Tucker Gray at shortstop spot calls for it. Decides just to use one hand. And just like that, guess what? We get some free baseball as Grant Stewart and Great Crossing down to their last strike. He's able to hit a double off the wall in left center to score Drake Bird and to tie this game up. So through 7 innings, we're knotted at 6-6. Back after this on birdsnestsports.com.
One runner left on base.
Your health means everything. That's why we work to help keep you safe when you come to us for care. That's also why it's so important to not delay getting the care that you need. Whether it's an emergency, a checkup, or time for a screening like your annual mammogram, get the care that your health needs now, because your health means everything to us too.
Welcome back to birdsnestsports.com. New pitcher onto the mound for Great Crossing. And Coach, that is in the form of Jacob Turlia, who'll come over from first base. Any stats on him for the season?
Yeah, he's thrown 12 innings, giving up 17 hits, 7 walks, 9 strikeouts. But again, somebody who's certainly has some experience out there, and I'm not surprised by this move at all by Coach Stratton. It looks like he's a hard-throwing right-hander. We've been seeing a lot of curveball pitchers these last couple of nights. Just from what I saw right there, Jacob was pumping the fastball.
So it looks like Ben Lacey into the ball game, playing first base.
Pitcher, number 15, Kyron Hale on deck, Mattingly.
So Turlia comes over from the first base spot position to the mound, and Ben Lacey will play first base for Great Crossing. And Kyron Held up for his 5th plate appearance of the day. 0 for 3 so far.
And just like what we saw in warm-ups, Turley is coming in just pumping the fastballs.
So the count goes to 3-1.
But as we've said throughout the game, held with a terrific eye, 19 walks on the year. He's going to have to bring one right down the zone for him to swing at it.
Turlia gets him to foul it off. The count 3-2 here.
And at the break, we were talking about whether or not they would let Keitlinger go another inning, but they do have somebody warming up in the pen. Looks like their shortstop, Gray.
Ball hit into the gap in right center field. Drake Bird, good job cutting that off to hold him to a single.
I expect to see a courtesy runner here.
Yep. Now batting the left fielder, number 14, Alex Mattingly.
12th hit of the ball game for Williamstown. And now Alex Mattingly will come up. He's 2 for 3 in the ball game. Scored 2 runs with 1 RBI. First pitch outside. Count goes to 2-0. Kyron held over at first base.
We were talking earlier about player of the game candidates. This would certainly be one of them. Let's see what Mattingly does.
Pitch in the dirt, 3-0. So not a good start here for the Warhawks. Leadoff single. Then Turlia finds himself behind in the count, 3-0 to Alex Mattingly, the left field 8th grader for the Demons. Swinging 3-0. Kind of surprising there. He fouls it off to the right side.
And I think that's just a matter of, maybe the best hitter, best spot. You're thinking, I'm not going to take the bat out of his hands right here. If he can hit a ball in the gap, and we'll score.
Held back in on the pickoff attempt. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Fouled straight back here. Into the net. Count goes full. So Alex Mattingly, Cameron Lawson, Jalen Dixon. Next three batters for Williamstown. Kyron held over at first base. Wow, curveball. What confidence right there. Strikeout looking.
And that's the first curveball we've seen Turlia throw on a 3-2 count. Man, you're right. Talking about confidence.
Number 35.
Mattingly was not expecting that. You could tell. That takes a lot of guts to throw that pitch.
Yes, it does. So Cameron Lawson, the senior first baseman, 2 for 3 in the ball game. Fly ball out to center field. Aiden Foster with a good jump. Circles underneath of it. Decides to go solo on the catch. So 2 outs. Turlia let off.
The right fielder
allowed held
Jalen Dixon
to lead off the inning with a single. Come back with 2 straight outs. And now Jalen Dixon, the left-handed hitting right fielder. And looks like they're going to bring in a runner for Kyron Held. That's going to be number 41.
And we talked last inning about, going with
catcher, number 41, Courtney.
With Great Crossing still in, with 2 outs, try to get the runner in scoring position. Let's see if Williamstown does the same thing.
So Courtney, number 41, we'll get his first name for you here in a second. He's courtesy running for Held at first base. Zach Courtney. Turlia goes 2 balls in a row to the right fielder, Jalen Dixon. Dixon, first time all day long, he hasn't been up there trying to bunt from a sacrifice perspective. 2-0 pitch, outside corner. Dixon was begging for that ball call there. Instead, hit the outside corner. Plate umpire says strike 1. The count goes 2-1. Battling back as we update the scoreboard for you with 2 outs. Swing and a miss on that one, and the count's 2-2.
And Zach doesn't have a big lead over at first. I'm a little surprised by that.
Outside corner, strike call. So 2 backwards Ks for Jacob Turlia in that inning. So after the leadoff single by Kyron Held, Jacob Turlia comes back with 2 strikeout lookings and a fly ball to Aiden Foster in center field to give his team a chance. So we'll go into the bottom of the 8th inning. The score tied at 6-6. You're watching high school baseball on birdsnestsports.com. We'll be back right after this.
Surgery, you need a surgeon you can trust and feel at home with. Consider Dr. Robert Henderson at Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery. Specializing in wisdom teeth extraction, surgery to prepare for dentures, biopsies, corrective jaw surgery, TMJ disorders, and dental implants. All outpatient procedures are performed right here in our office. We participate with most insurance, we offer care credit, and take care of all the paperwork. Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery will give you a lot to smile about.
Scott County Physical Therapy is a privately owned physical therapy practice specializing in outpatient orthopedics, sports and industrial rehab, neurological rehabilitation, low back pain, neck pain, and arthritic conditions. Our mission is to provide the highest quality physical therapy to assist each individual and the community at large. Scott County Physical Therapy, a journey to wellness. To contact the physical therapist and Scott County Physical Therapy, please dial 502-863-4242. Scott County Physical Therapy is the title sponsor for Scott County Athletics.
Welcome back to BirdsNestSports.com. Mike Ritchie along with the coach Scott Sutton, Toby Murray. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. The score's tied 6-6. Great Crossing did a good job thanks to Jacob Turlia as he held Williamstown scoreless in the 8th. And the Warhawks, all they need is one. And they'll lead off the inning with Colin Nicholson, the left fielder, 1 for 3 in the ball game. New pitcher in for Williamstown is Tucker Gray.
A lot of innings for Williamstown, Mike. You can tell he's probably their number 2. We had talked about the strikeouts for Keitlinger, but Tucker Gray has 49 strikeouts in just 27 innings pitched, so he obviously has great stuff. My guess is he was probably going to be the starter in their second game today, but with a chance to beat Great Crossings, they said, okay, we're going to roll with you.
So the count 1-2 here as that pitch is fouled back by Colin Nicholson.
Has a 2.82 ERA. Again, 49 Ks. And there's another one right there to make it 50.
So the stats for Keitlinger, he goes 7 innings, gives up 10 hits, 6 runs, 5 of those were earned, 3 walkouts, 3 strikes. And Coach Stratton is making a change here. For Zach Lyons, the leadoff hitter, going to be pinch hit for. And pinch hitting for Mr. Lyons is Ben Lacey.
Now batting.
So what they're doing here is they're killing the DH.
Ben Lacey.
Ben Lacey went in for Logan Atkins and Austin Meade. So Ben Lacey here, batting in the 7th inning, or 8th inning, excuse me. So put out at first base.
Second.
So good play out there by Tennyson Spillman.
Now batting, the second baseman, number 2, Benny and Bond.
2 outs in the inning, and Benny and Bond up for the Warhawks. First pitch, swing and a miss. Tucker Gray's coming here, and he's just...
Yeah, he's confident. You can tell. He...
little more heat on that coming from this pitcher, so he didn't want to get that one in to hit him at all. He got out of the way of that one pretty good. Tucker Gray, he wastes no time. He catches it and throws it.
Yeah, looking at these numbers, you can see that Keitlinger and Gray, they've just ridden them all year long. These two, nice 1-2 punch.
Bond fouls it back. 2-2's the count. 2 outs here in the inning.
And all they've done is just switch shortstop pitcher. So, because I was thinking to myself, and here's a play. Let's see.
Ground ball. Keitlinger catches it, flips it over to Lawson. So 3 up, 3 down. Good job by Tucker Gray. As we're continuing to provide free baseball, no charge. Through 8 innings, your score. Williamstown 6, Great Crossing 6. We'll be back right after this.
Kierman, agency manager at the Scott County Farm Bureau Insurance, would like you to know that as your local insurance agent, he is right here in your community, ready to help you with all your insurance needs. In the event of a loss, you can count on Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance to help you through it. We have local claims adjusters to serve you at your time of loss. We are knowledgeable about our community and can provide valuable assistance and advice when needed. Call the office today at 502-863-2454 for a free, no obligation quote. Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, big on commitment.
Welcome back to birdsnestsports.com. We go to the top of the 9th inning. Playing a Major League game here today. Jacob Turley is still on the mound for Great Crossing.
And Mike, it's interesting. The last game, and well, really 2 games if you throw out these extra innings, we've just seen curveball pitcher after curveball pitcher, and then these 2 guys that have come in are just blowing smoke. So.
Yep. So into the 9th inning, leading off for the Williamstown Demons is Jonathan Peer. Peer is 1 for 4 in the ball game with a single and an RBI. Couple of ground balls, 1 to Benny and Bond, 1 to Brent Stewart.
On deck, Philbin.
You know, we talk about Alex Mattingly, but Jonathan Peer, only a freshman as well, playing third base. First pitch, line drive, outside the reach of Ben Lacey. Just outside the reach. So a single for Great Crossing, or excuse me, for Williamstown. That's the 13th hit of the ball game.
Putting in a pinch runner.
Pinch runner for them is number 20.
Pinch runner's going to be number
That's Spencer Stevens.
You got to feel like Coach Young is going to sacrifice him over right here, get this guy in scoring position. He didn't show it there. I'm very surprised.
So Tennyson Spillman, 1 for 4 in the ball game in the 9 spot. Takes ball 1. Takes ball 2. It looks like he's going to say, I'm not going to do anything until you throw me a strike.
That was a good looking pitch there, Mike. I'm surprised that wasn't called.
2-0 pitch right down the pike. Count goes to 2-1. No outs here. Top of the 9th inning. Jacob Turlia on the mound for Great Crossing. Spencer Stevens diving back in over at first base. Came in to pinch run for Jonathan Peer, who got a base hit.
And I am just stunned that they're not having him bunt. You 9-hitter up. Get the guy in scoring position.
2-2 is the count here. Curveball high, and the count goes full. Payoff pitch coming up, 3-2. No outs here. Spencer Stevens on the base, on first base to be specific. 3-2 pitch. Wow. That's been hit or miss, that outside corner. He gives it to the pitcher in that case, so 1 out. Back to the top of the lineup, Cole Keitlinger. 6th plate appearance of the ball game. Officially, he is 2 for 4. 2 singles, 2 RBIs, and hit with the pitch his last time up as they try to catch Spencer Stevens leaning over there. Turlia flips it over to Ben Lacey. To no avail. Pitch just outside.
That looked like it was in the exact same spot that they just rang up Spillman on.
1-0 pitch. Winds up called a strike. Count goes to 1-1. Turlia worried about Mr. Stevens over there a little bit with 1 out here in the top of the 9th inning.
Yeah, he doesn't have a huge lead. I mean, I can understand you would be thinking he might steal, but he's leaning towards the bag. He's probably 2 steps off at best.
If he's going to steal the base, he's going to have to go about 88.5 feet.
Yeah. He probably a youngster that hadn't been in a lot and thinking to himself, just don't mess up. I don't want to get thrown out.
Strike 3.
That's a good pitch. Right
Same
there.
location as the previous strikeout. 2 strikeouts in the inning. That's the 4th strikeout in 2 innings for Turlia. And that'll bring up the center fielder, Tanner Gray. Gray had a great ball game up to this point. He's got 3 base hits, scored a run, hit by pitch the last time. First pitch swinging, pop-up, Ben Lacey trying to get underneath of it right at the fence.
Oh, that's an outstanding
just misses it. And more importantly, he drops his hat over the fence. I think if he gets there and goes all the way to the fence, he might make that play, but he was trying to run and catch it in the same motion. And kind of the fence jarred him a little bit. Somebody gets his hat back for him. He puts his hats on, puts his sunglasses on backwards, and he's ready to play. 2 outs here. Runner at first base for Williamstown. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fouled straight back. Count goes 0-2.
Tanner being 3 for 4 today with a hit by pitch. He's a guy who has come to play.
Outside. Good job by Mr. Harris to keep that from being a wild pitch.
Well, you know, I see where he's a sophomore, and we had talked to the coach before about them having prom last night, so he might have been one kid who didn't go to prom, got a little sleep, so he's ready to play a little baseball this morning. Good pitch.
So I tell you what, he had 3 strikeouts in that inning for his 5th strikeout total in 2 innings, and every one of his strikeouts, the 3rd strike pitch was called and was in the exact same spot. So we'll take a timeout. We'll come back to see if Great Crossing can score a run and win this ball game. You're watching high school baseball on birdsnestsports.com. Back after this.
And Bird's Nest Athletics would like to take this opportunity to thank our corporate sponsors: Bluegrass Orthopedics, Georgetown News Graphic, Denise M. Keene, Certified Public Accountant, Brickhouse Properties Real Estate, Chick-fil-A, Toyota Motor Manufacturing of Kentucky, Clark's Pump and Shop, Georgetown Community Hospital, West Banco, Greens Toyota of Lexington, Ozer Paint and Flooring, Scott County Veterinary Clinic, People's Bank, Time to Shine Car Wash, Steve Skierman, Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, Domino's Pizza, Burger King, Galvin's on Main. This broadcast has been made possible by these corporate sponsors and viewers.
Welcome back to birdsnestsports.com. Bottom of the 9th inning. Coach, what's Great Crossing got to do here besides the obvious of scoring a run?
Well, again, we talked about you just got to get a guy on base and then put all the pressure on Williamstown. Once you get somebody on, then you can try to bunt them over. You got to make them make the correct play. They got to make a good throw over to first. But even then, once you get a guy on base, everything else, you know, it just makes it so much tougher for the defense because you're worried about that runner instead of worrying about just getting the hitter out. So we'll see what Benner can do right here. We had talked about, you're talking about 2 power guys going at it right now. Gray throws pretty hard. He's been pumping the fastballs, and if Benner's been paying attention, which most good players will do, he's thinking right now, if I get a ball in the upper half of the zone, I'm going to explode on it like I did last night.
Yep. And I guarantee you he's looking for his pitch here on this first one. Tucker Gray coming in, throwing a little bit more heat than we've been seeing all ball game. Pretty much mowed down the Warhawks in that 8th inning. Had a strikeout and 2 ground ball outs. First pitch outside.
And Gray came with the heat right there, but he was keeping it outside. So, and that's something that, at least early in the count, Benner's just looking for something in inner half. Oof.
That might have been it
right there. That might have been it right there. Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't come out of his shoes.
So the count's 1-1 to the senior 3rd baseman. Ball hit into the gap. Good jump by Dixon out there, but Benner's coming around for 3rd. The second baseman drops it, and Benner's leading off the inning with a stand-up triple.
And now you've got a lot of options.
Yes, you do.
You know, you can squeeze, but you got, you know, your 4-hitter up in Turlia. Infield's going to have to play in here, which I still don't see him doing. I'm not sure what they're thinking.
There they come.
There we go.
And again, what a spot for Jacob Turley. He comes in here, If he can get this run in, not only does he get the winning RBI, but he also gets the victory. First pitch swinging. He's trying to raise one to get a fly ball out to the outfield.
And I like that approach. Get in there and just drive a ball to the outfield and win this thing.
He didn't get cheated on that first swing or the second one, but Tucker Gray, hats off to him. He comes in with a off-speed pitch, breaking ball.
And now you got to shorten up a little bit, put the ball in play, and make them make a play here. So being a four-hitter, a lot of times you're a free swinger, but at this point, Jacob just needs to say, all right, I want to make sure I put a bat on the ball.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. Outside. That's pretty much, he gave, according to the Williamstown fans, he gave the last three pitches that Turlia threw in almost that same spot. He called all three of those a strike. That one there was a ball. Another ball. That one there was a little bit further outside, and the count evens up 2-2.
And I tell you, if I'm Coach Stratton, I'm telling Jacob, hey, you got to protect the plate right here. Those are two balls that were borderline.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. It goes high. So Tucker Gray's tried to get him to chase. He's thrown 3 straight balls. The count goes full. No outs here. Seth Benner over at third base, leadoff triple. And Jacob Turlia slaps a single to right field, and that's going to be your ball game. 12th hit of the ball game. An RBI for Turlia. Scores Seth Benner. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll figure out who the player of the game is. Your final score is Great Crossing 7, Williamstown 6. We'll be back right after this. You're watching high school baseball on the birdsnestsports.com broadcast network. Back after this. Who's your POG?
Well, if it had been in regulation, I would have said Benium. Now I'm not so sure.
What about Turlia? He's made a couple of good.
He was 2 for 5.
He was 2 for 5, winning RBI. He gets the victory, comes in and gets.
But look, Seth.
4 strikeouts. 5 strikeouts.
Seth had a triple, a double, and a single. 3 for 5. I'm not so sure. I could give it to either one.
Well, I'm gonna make you do it. You're not gonna be here, so they can't blame me. I just throwing in the 5 strikeouts and 2 innings pitched, factored into it.
Well, are we not allowed to do co-player of the games? Not enough trophies?
Well, we can cut the damn thing in half. Anybody got a saw?
I would love to give it to Benner and Turlia. 3 for 5 for Benner. Like you said, 2 for 5 with Turlia, and then comes in and gets the win.
Let's do Turlia.
Okay.
I don't like offensive players.
Okay. What do you do in relief? 5 strikeouts?
Yep, 5 strikeouts and 2 innings. All 5 strikeouts looking.
Yep. That umpire couldn't make up his mind on whether or not he wanted to call it a strike or...
Welcome back to birdsnestsports.com. Looking at your final line score of the ball game. Great Crossing with the comeback victory. Good job by Williamstown. They score 6 runs, 13 hits, only 1 error. Great Crossing comes back and scores 7 runs with 12 hits, no errors. After much debate, it was really between 2 players. We decided to go with Jacob Turlia, the senior first baseman. He was 2 for 3 with the game-winning RBI. He came in the 8th inning for 2 innings of relief. In those 2 innings, he only gave up 2 hits. He had 5 strikeouts, and more importantly, all 5 strikeouts were of the looking variety. So we're going to say our Bluegrass Orthopedic player of the game is Great Crossing's first baseman / pitcher, Jacob Turlia. Again, he was 2 for 5 in the ball game with the winning RBI, and he gets the victory as well. So hats off to him. So again, before we head out here, we're going to say thanks for watching here today. We'll be back about 6:30 as Great Crossings will host Bardstown in the final game of the Warhawk Baseball Classic. So thanks for watching. Again, from my broadcast partner, the coach, Scott Sutton. For Toby Murray, I'm Mike Ritchie. Again, as always, thanks for watching. If you can't make it out to the ball game tonight, check us out on the internet. But more importantly, do whatever you can if you live close. Get out and watch Great Crossing High School Baseball. Beautiful facility here in Georgetown, Kentucky. So with that being said, everybody have a good afternoon. We'll be back about 6:30 for Bardstown Great crossing here on the birdsnestsports.com broadcast network. Have a good evening or good afternoon.